Hey OTR fans, this is Greg from An Evening of Old Time Radio. I've put together this compilation of rare Western OTR gems, and I call them gems because you probably haven't heard of most of these shows, and also because most of the episodes of these shows have not survived to this day. There are very few left. One of the earliest Western radio shows aimed at adults was called Hawk Larrabee, starring Barton Yarborough. And prior to that, the only Westerns really that were around were like The Lone Ranger and Red Ryder were aimed at kids. The show was first called Hawk Durango, but it only lasted 6 weeks. It debuted as Hawk Larrabee on October 3rd, 1946. Tom Mix was a Western film actor, popular in the early 1900s, and actually he had been in over 170 Western films through the 20s and the 30s. In the 30s, Roust and Purina approached him with the idea of putting a radio show out called Tom Mix, Roust and Straight Shooters. And it ran until the 50s and was actually quite popular, although Tom Mix himself actually never starred in the show. He had had a bullet to the throat during his career, which made his voice unsuitable for radio. However, several other actors voiced him in the show. And again, very few episodes have survived to this day, despite the show's popularity. Bobby Benson and the B-Bar-B Writers ran from 1932 to 1936 on CBS, and again from 49 to 55 on Mutual. It was a Western show aimed at younger viewers, although adults did enjoy it, and featured several child actors as Benson, who inherits his parents' ranch, the B-Bar-B Ranch in Texas, and follows the adventures of Benson and his ranch hands as they try to defend the ranch and its people from outlaws and other evils. And unlike most Western shows, it was set in the modern West instead of the 1800s. Tennessee Jed Sloan was the deadliest man with a rifle to ride the plains in the Old West, and he and his horse Smokey wandered the plains, righting wrongs and administering justice. And eventually he actually became an agent for the President of the United States himself. The show ran in the mid to late 40s and was aimed again at teenaged viewers, although adults did enjoy the show as well. And then lastly, U.S. Marshal Lightning Jim Whipple and his horse Thunder, along with his deputy Whitey Larson, brought law and justice to the Wild West, like so many Westerns of the time. It ran from 1946 to 48 also, and again, very few episodes have survived to this day. So without further ado, here is my collection of Western OTR gems for all of you Western OTR lovers. I hope you enjoy it, and thanks very much for watching.
The poet said, "East is east and west is west, and never the twain shall meet." And there was one time that Hawk Durango was in full agreement. That was when Susie Kimball came west to marry Nephi Thatcher.
The Columbia Broadcasting System presents Hawk Durango, starring Elliott Lewis.
Along the entire Butterfield stage route, no hotel was better known in the old days than the Gold Bar House in Sundown Wells. And Hawk Durango, its new owner, works hard to perpetuate the established for comfort and service. But sometimes the guests are difficult, like these two whom Chuck-a-Luck is announcing right now.
Say, Hawk,
Yeah.
there's two ladies coming into the lobby.
No?
Kind of trail-weary, judging from their voices. There, you can see them now.
Trail weary is right.
Right down here, ladies. I'll send someone over and get your baggage.
But we haven't decided whether to stay here or not.
Oh, here's Mr. Durango now.
Oh, welcome to the Gold Bar House, ma'am. You, miss? Chuck-a-Luck, get a pitcher of water and glasses.
Yeah.
The stage driver said this was the best hotel in town. But I didn't know it would be like this.
Oh, we'll make you comfortable, ma'am. How long are you going to stay?
Oh, we've no idea. We're lost.
Lost? Well, you're in Sundown Wells, ma'am.
I know that. But he didn't meet us at the stage stop as he said he would. Now, what are we going to do?
Oh, no, Aunt Priscilla.
Who did you say was to meet you, ma'am?
Her bridegroom, Susie's bridegroom. He was here to take us to his ranch. We've come all the way from Vermont, and Nephi Thatcher didn't meet us.
Nephi Thatcher? Well, he's one of the biggest men out here, ma'am. His ranch you're talking about, it's a sheep outfit up yonder in the big mesas.
We know he's one of your biggest men and one of the richest. And Susie is going to marry him. But where is he, I'd like to know.
Chuck-a-luck.
Yes, Hook?
Run over to the Wells Fargo office and to the Livestock Loan Company. Now, that's where Mr. Thatcher generally hangs out, ma'am. Ask if there's any word of him.
I wouldn't worry, lady. He'll show up. For one thing, the stage got here ahead of schedule.
Fine, how do you do? A bride comes 2,000 miles out to God the... What's that noise?
Well, that's music, ma'am. Coming from the casino in there.
Music. For dancing?
Yes, ma'am.
And they drink in there, too, I suppose?
Well, most of them do.
Susie, stop patting your foot.
Oh, it's a very
Maybe you'd like to
tune.
rest up, ma'am, while you're waiting for Mr. Thatcher. I can fix you up with a room.
No, thank you. I wouldn't think of staying a minute in a place where there's drinking and dancing.
Well, you needn't fear, ma'am. In the old days, when the Butterfield stage ran through here, the Gold Bar House was pretty woolly. But now it's peaceful as a church picnic.
Oh, heavens above, what's that?
Snoop, go see what's up.
We're going to be killed.
Oh, it's just a little target practice, ma'am. We're having a rodeo. Now, as I was saying, the Butterfield stage ran from
Oh,
Memphis...
Mr. Durango, my aunt. She fainted.
Oh, come on. We better get her upstairs to one of the bedrooms.
Get the old lady bedded down, Hawk?
Yeah, she's in the bridal suite. The young filly was giving us smelling salts when I left. What was all that shooting about?
Oh, Brazos was just fanning out a whiskey drummer. He got sore when the redhead made a remark about his ears. Everything's quiet now.
I hope so, for the old lady's sake. Oh, but the young one, she didn't seem so gun-shy, considering.
I'm sure sorry for that girl, if you ask me. Marrying up with Nephi Thatcher means the end of her good timing.
She don't look like she ever had any good time.
Did you see her tap her slippers when the band started playing?
Yeah, I saw it. Kind of dancing inside. Same as her eyes.
Yeah, dancing is one thing Thatcher won't stand for. Worse than liquor.
Oh, hold it, Snoop. Here she comes now. Hope your aunt will be all right, miss.
Oh, well, all she needs is some rest. She said she wanted to sleep, so I thought I'd look around your hotel.
Oh, you won't find much here to interest a girl like you, Miss Susie.
Oh, but what's in there? Who are those men with the green shades sitting at the tables?
That's the gaming room, miss. You wouldn't like that.
Oh, yes, I know. Gambling is wrong, and so is dancing. And music is wrong because it makes you want to dance.
You say that as if the words have been drummed into you, without sense.
Drummed into me for 4 years, ever since Nephi Thatcher came east and proposed to me.
But you don't believe dancing and music are wrong, huh?
Well, I have to believe. Except now for a few minutes while my aunt's resting.
You mean your aunt's been sort of riding herd on you?
What does that mean?
Well, it just means watching over you, seeing you don't get into trouble.
Oh, well, she's been riding herd on me ever since I was engaged, Mr. Durango. And music makes me think of the good times I've missed. I'm going into the casino.
Oh, but I wouldn't do that, miss. A girl like you can't go in there.
Oh, but there are a lot of girls in there.
Well, they're just there to entertain the cowhands and mine muckers and such. They aren't the kind of girls you'd associate with.
Oh, well, that doesn't make any difference.
All right, then. It's not the girls, it's the men. They're a pretty salty bunch. That one standing over there with his back against the wall, shuffling a deck of cards. He's strictly a desperado. Name of Brazos John.
Oh. How old is he?
Now, why should you be asking that?
He looks younger than his face. His face is leathery and burned, but his eyes are like a boy's.
Well, that's because he's a gunman. You see, they need sharp eyes to do his kind of shooting.
Oh, I caught a glimpse of him when we first came in the hotel.
Oh?
I'll never forget it. The picture he made, slouching there, rolling a cigarette, with those two guns on his hips. It's a picture that we all have back east, of the men in the prairies and the Rockies. I'm going to talk to him.
Oh, wait. Wait, Miss Susie. No, wait. You can't talk to Brazos.
Brazos John?
Yes, ma'am?
You may think it's strange my coming to speak to you, but I wanted to settle a question in my mind.
Yes, ma'am?
Where have I seen you before?
Well, have you been out west for long?
Well, this is my first day this far west.
Well, I ain't never been east of Texas. Oh, been south across the border off and on when things got to moving too fast, but couldn't be there.
That's funny. You look so familiar.
Just a coincidence, I guess, ma'am.
What are you doing with those cards?
Oh, there?
Hmm?
That's called cascading. You see, you take...
Oh, no, I know. That sound. It's like a harp string in my mind. My father, he did that with cards. That's it. You remind me of my father when I last saw him. When I was a little girl.
Oh, maybe we better just sat down here. Everybody's staring at you.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I'll be glad to sit down with you, Brazos John.
Well, what you drinking? Oh, excuse me, I didn't mean that.
Oh, yes. I'll have a drink with you.
Did you ever have one before?
No, never.
Well... Hey, Pedro, come here.
Yeah, I'm coming, Brazos.
Say, your papa was handy with cards, huh?
Well, I wasn't supposed to know it, but everyone knew he was a professional gambler in New York. You see, I lived with my 3 aunts in Vermont. That was one of them you saw in the lobby.
Mm-hmm. Well, does Nephi Thatcher know about your papa?
Oh, yes, of course. That's why he's been so particular that my aunts brought me up just right and rode herd on me.
What will it be, Brazos?
Same for me. Something soft for the lady.
See.
They serve good lemon squash here, ma'am. That suits you?
Well, I'll take whatever you're taking.
Make you 2 lemon squashes, Pedro.
Right away, Brazos.
When I said drinks, I didn't mean actual drinks. That wouldn't be right at all. Your bridegroom would know it when you kissed him.
Oh, but I could use sassafras bark. Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, where did you hear about sassafras bark?
My father used it whenever he came up to Vermont to visit me.
I see. And whatever he done was right, huh?
Of course it was.
I'm beginning to think that there's something about Nephi Thatcher's wedding that ain't going to be all rosy.
There you are, folks. 2 lemon squashes.
Well, here's to you, honey.
Here's to you, Brazos John.
Where is she? I tell you, I knew that girl. Hey, Brazos. Thatcher's hunting around in the lobby. Let him see him that boat drinking with his bride, Brazos. Better get that girl out of here.
Well, I'm not ashamed.
Well, nevertheless, you better get on out of here. No, wait now. You can't let him see you walking out of the casino.
Hey, he's heading this way, brother. Got that killer with him, Mutton Jack and shotgun guard.
Well, let him come.
Wait now, just wait. You can't reach that door and back. Better get into Hooper Sal's tent. Right in here.
Where is she? I want that young lady.
Mr. Thatcher.
Where is she?
Mr. Thatcher. She ain't been in here.
Her aunt said she came here. One of the Indian mozos saw her come in.
Kind of a roundabout way of tracking, ain't it, Mr. Thatcher? A man and an Indian?
She was seen in one of the booths drinking with Brazos John.
Well, if I find the Indian that told you that wisdom, Mr. Thatcher, he's gonna wish he was born a gal baby.
Say you there, picking up those empty glasses. See? Who did you serve those drinks to?
Well, just to one of our Haragos on a sheep herder, Mr. Thatcher. Maybe with one of your own sheep hands.
Yeah. Well, I guess her aunt made a mistake. Susie Kimball wouldn't dare come into a place like this. Her aunt would punish her. Come on, Mutton, let's get out of here.
Of course.
While you're in here, don't you want to smile at the bar, Mr. Thatcher?
You aren't talking to me, are you?
Maybe I'm talking to a fence post. But, I know something about this girl you're hunting for.
You mean you've seen her?
I saw her crossing the street to the general store.
The general store? Mutton, go over and see if she's there. Yeah, boy. I'll talk to her aunt.
All right, boys, let's have some music.
Well, you sure sawed off a good trick, Brazos, inviting Nephi Thatcher's bride to have a drink with him.
You're stacking up a hand pretty fast, ain't you, Hawk? When you can't see nary a card.
I can see one card. Her eyes shining when she looked at you.
Oh, she just liked the way I cascaded the deck. A harp string, she called it. Out of the past.
That's just it, Brazos. There's something in her past. Maybe her aunt's hog-tying her. And you look like the way out. She's like that young kid, Dink Huckins, you worked a spell on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just what is it that makes these young mavericks come to you, Brazos, like critters going to a salt lake?
Well, I'll tell her I'm just a low-down sippy cat underneath, Hawk.
No, she won't believe you.
Well, then I'll show her these here notches on both of my guns.
No. It won't make it worse. No, I'm just asking you, Brazos, as a favor. Don't go near her again.
Yeah, I'll go explain to her, Hawk. I'll tell her I got to kill somebody.
Cinder, I fear you haven't done a very good job bringing up Susie.
Oh, Nephi, I can't understand where she's gone.
She's apparently the same wild, headstrong child she was when I last saw her.
Oh, no, she's changed since then, Nephi. My sisters and I have changed her.
But I can't forget her eyes. Back in Vermont, everybody remarked about the devil in Susie's eyes.
We worked that devil out of her, Nephi. Hard work, that's what it was. We've made her fit to be your wife.
Well, I only hope Susie will know what it means to be a frontier wife. There'll be little chance for play out on my ranch.
She doesn't know what play means, Nephi. We've seen to that. We've even made her forget her father.
Whatever her father was, I love her. I'm willing to forgive that she's a gambler's daughter.
She ain't over to the general store, Mr. Thatcher.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. Now, where can she be?
If you want my opinion, Mom, I think them folks in the cantina was hornswoggling us from the store.
You're right, Mutton Jack. She must be there drinking in good timing. Follow me and keep your gun loose. If they lie to me, there's sure going to be some punishment dealt out here. And with this...
I wouldn't unholster that iron just yet, Mr. Thatcher. It'll take more than just two of us to talk to that bunch of horse thieves.
They've got the girl I'm going to marry hidden in there. I'll do some rectifying no matter how many.
Oh, stop this talk of gunfighting. Here comes Susie now.
Yes. Out of the dance hall.
Oh, Nephi, I've been waiting for you.
Susie, you. And that dance hall...
Well, I was just having my fortune told in the Palmer's booth. You don't seem glad to see me, Nephi.
Why, of course I'm glad. I thought I was angry. But seeing you after all these years, I'm not angry. I'm overcome. You've grown up to be a lovely woman, Susie.
Aren't you going to kiss him, Susie?
We'd better postpone that when there's not such a crowd looking on.
Nephi was late because he had some business. His wool clip, he called it. $20,000.
Well, you better get ready now. We're leaving for the ranch at once. I've engaged a preacher to marry us tomorrow. Came all the way from Mule City. 100 miles.
Well, I'll be ready in a moment. Oh, Mr. Durango.
Oh, yeah?
I've got to say goodbye.
Oh, leaving so soon, Miss Susan?
Yes, and I want to thank you for the best time I've had since I was a little girl.
Well, good luck. May it always be roses.
And goodbye, Brazos John.
Adios, Susanna.
Susanna. Why, that's what my father used to call me.
I'm kind of sorry I ain't going to see that little bride again. Susanna. She liked that, didn't she?
I told you she was loco over you, Brazos.
Oh.
Lucky the bridegroom came along just in time.
Hey, Hawk. You ought to hear this. A mule skinner just rode in. Said the bridal party was being followed by some riders. Salty-looking characters, he says they look like.
Tracking a wedding party? What sort of a game is that?
Thatcher had a big money crop. He's taking it to pay off his shearing crew. Everybody knows that.
Why do you know they're tracking them, Chuck?
Well, instead of keeping on the wagon trail, they cut up to the bench and was heading along parallel. Same as coyotes will follow a trail herd.
Huh?
If they wanted to pass them, why didn't they stick to the road, I'm asking you?
Well, I'm asking you, why didn't the mule skinner tell the town marshal?
Because he freights up and down that trail, and he can't afford to squeal on the bad bunch.
You mean he knew it was a bad bunch riding?
Well, one of them had a bandaged head where his ear was shot off a couple of weeks ago.
El Gato.
Of course, I don't know anything about it, Hawk. I'm just repeating what the mule skinner told me.
Yeah. Brazos, I guess you and me better saddle up.
You mean I'm going to see that little bride again? Well, I thought you said that... Well, let's saddle up, Hawk.
Hey, you better get some more riders, Hawk.
I don't want any posse kicking up a lot of dust. Come on, Brazos. We'll ride.
We'll ride, son. I'll ride alongside. With her in the buckboard, I'll ride high.
As soon as we top this divide, you can see my sheep, Aunt Susie. Miles and miles of it stretching into the purple.
It's the biggest graze in this part of the country, Mom.
Oh, but everything is so hot and dry.
Oh, don't say that, Aunt Crescenda. The air is clear as crystal. Not like the heat down east. Oh, and look at those desert flowers. Oh, what are the red ones on the cactus?
Oh, I don't know the names. Stillery and grass that count for sheep.
Them red ones is ocotillo. Small yellow flowers, creosote.
It always means bad soil wherever you find creosote.
Oh, but the yellow's gorgeous.
Ah, but wait until we get up into the junipers. That's where my ranch is, where you can breathe God's own air. This is devil's country.
Oh!
Get down to the keep it.
What is it?
Bandits!
Sounds like we got here kind of late, don't it, Hall?
Maybe a little late. Let's leave our horses in this brush and have a look-see.
Yeah.
Now, keep under this mesquite matting, Brazos, so they don't see us crawling up.
Yeah. Safe as a doodle bug under a jug, ain't we, son?
I can see him now. Crawl up next to me so you can see from under the mesquite mat.
Yeah. Well, reckon we ain't too late.
There's 4 of them. Thatcher and his foreman and the 2 women folks. Between those boulders. Oh, they picked a pretty good spot.
Uh-huh. See anything El Gato's boy?
See a lot of them crawling up. But they can't get up too close to those boulders.
Wait till I study on this. Pretty neat setup. Well, how about just picking them off, one at a time till we count? Say there's 7 of them. I can get them all.
There's more than that. Half a dozen crawling up on the other side.
Well, you cut down on that bunch. I'll get this 7 on my side.
Now, wait, Brazos. None of your rodeo stuff. That girl's only too willing to call you her hero.
But I can pick them off without nary a man seeing my gun flash. I'm way back here under this mesquite mat. There. How you like that one? And that one.
Pretty slick gunplay, Brazos. They didn't even turn to look up at us.
Yeah. You want me to call my shots, Hulk? Here goes for that hombre running to the next rock. Well, I'll be a centipede sister. It's a Wallapai Indian.
Sure curl him. Now, give me a chance, will you, brother?
Go on. Go on. It's your deal.
That one behind the red rock. And the short-barreled gent crawling on his stomach.
Still on his stomach, but he ain't crawling. We sure are having us a good time, ain't we all?
Not too fast, so they'll know who's hitting them. We'll take turns.
It's my turn now.
Susie, I can't stand it. I'll go mad.
Stop whimpering, Crescenda, and pray. I'm holding them off on this side, and they aren't getting any closer than what you notice.
Oh, don't move, Uncle Peter. Nothing can touch us behind this rock. Nephi, can I have a gun?
Nonsense. My future wife fighting with a gun? You stay where you are and pray. We're praying, you devils out there. You hear us? And we're winning. Let man and angel sing. Glory, land, and honor to the Almighty.
There goes another and another stretched out, boss. Can't understand it.
You can't understand it when the Lord of Hosts is on our side? There's another sinking to his knees. Brothers, we are treading where the saints have trod.
But I can't understand it, boss. There's 2 men fell kicking, and I didn't hit him.
It's the Lord of Hosts that hit him. Susie, you load up that gun. Hand it over.
Oh, just one shot, Nephi, just one.
Good gracious alive, how did that happen? You got him.
And I got another one, Levi.
What's the matter, Martin Jack? Are you hit?
That one got me, boss. Oh. It's my arm. Kind of cracked it.
Oh, he's hurt. Look at the blood.
Crescenda. And Nephi, she's not bad. She won't move.
Oh, how could she be hit sitting where she was?
Well, a ricochet could have hit her, boss.
Martin Jack, watch your side.
I can't, boss. My arm. I can't fight no more.
Oh, I'll take his place, Nephi.
No, you won't. Help you around. Her face is gray-white. She may be dying.
Oh, Aunt Crescenda, open your eyes.
Well, give me your handkerchief, Susie. Got to have something white.
My handkerchief? You mean you're giving up?
You've got to give up the money, that's all. They can have it. Give that handkerchief to me, I tell you.
Oh, no, we're winning, Nephi, and you're quitting.
You out there, El Gato or whoever's there. I'm waving this white cloth, see it? Oh, there's nobody there. They're crawling to their horses. They're saddling up. There's only 4 of them left, and they're cinching up. I can't understand it. It's a miracle. Unless somebody was helping us.
That's what I figured, boss. I couldn't see their flash, but somebody was in that mesquite clump up in that drawer.
Nonsense. Hello. What can this mean?
What are you looking at, boss?
There's a Pinto out here. Can this be possible?
Yeah. I see it, boss. It's Brazos John's Pinto. The only horse that wasn't gun-shy in the whole setup.
Brazos John's? You mean he was the one who was picking them off? Brazos John saved
It was the Lord of Hosts save us.
Or the devil. Maybe that's what you better call them, boss.
Susie, where are you going?
I'm going to thank you.
I forbid it. I'll thank him myself, not send my wife.
I'm not your wife yet, Nephi Thatcher.
Susie, come back here. Susie, I'll come back.
Wait for me.
They all piling on their broncs, Hawk. Shall we fog down on
Oh, it's only the wounded ones dragging themselves to their saddles. Let them go, brothers.
Maybe I ought to go on down and tell them folks that everything is hunky-dory.
Want to have that bride fall on your neck? Don't be hunting trouble.
I ain't hunting trouble. It's hunting me. If I would... Well, here comes the bride.
All right, come on.
now.
Come on, we better saddle up.
What? We got to tell her she's safe, son. Look, I'm just asking you. Let me talk to her alone.
What for?
Well, I want to say goodbye to her.
But I told... All right, brothers. I know the way you feel about her. Same way she feels about you.
Oh, darn your horny hide. Before going out of here.
I'll be in the mesquite within ear range. Maybe within gun range, brothers.
Oh, Brazos John, wait for me.
Oh, hello, honey.
Oh, I saw your horse, Brazos, and I saw the peak of your hat poking up through the mesquite. I came to thank you.
What for?
For routing that band of renegades. Nephi Thatcher thought it was the Almighty himself that was routing them. But I know the truth. The renegades knew it, too.
What old truth? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's like Nephi quoting from the scripture. If Brazos John is with us, who can be against us?
Somebody sure run a cold deck on you. It was Hawk Durango routed them coyotes, not me.
You mean Hawk Durango came with you?
Sure, he's right in the mesquite right behind me. He done all the shooting.
What were you doing?
Oh, just playing myself a game of solitary, like I'm doing now. You better go on back. Tell your husband-to-be that you're safe.
Oh, it's the harp string again.
Go on back.
I'm not going back, Brazos John.
What do you mean?
Nephi Thatcher's a coward. He wanted to give up the fight and give up his money, right when we were winning.
You got him stacked up all wrong, honey. Here in the West, men give up anything if their women folks is in danger. He done right. He's anything but a coward. It was generous play, him giving up his Wolf-Cliff money. He's afraid you'd get hit, you and the old lady down yonder.
But I'm not going back anyway.
Well, where are you going to?
Back there where that music is playing. Oh, can't you hear it? I just caught it in the wind, far way off across the sage plain.
That's just your blood pumping. That's what you're hearing. It ain't in your ears, it's in your blood.
Yes, it's in my blood, Brazos John. I want to go back with you.
Now, you just listen. You're going to marry with a good husband. Thatcher's a good man. He's well fixed. He's got a good home ready for you, and he's worked hard making a fit place for a gal like you to live in.
Oh, a home where they'll be singing hymns all the time.
That's all right. Them hymn singers, taking all in all, from shoulder to hock, is generally better than most of us. Us horned toads, I mean.
But I can't go back to him, Brazos. After what you've done, I can't go back. Not when I'm in love with someone else.
You ain't in love with nobody. But you'll be in love with him when you get to know him. Me now. You don't know me. Why, just last week I beefed a man cold and the whole town was riding shotgun on me.
Oh, I heard about that, but they found out they were wrong.
Town marshal didn't want no necktie party. That's how I got out. And they thought that I was reformed. They didn't know it. I had my gang all ready for a hold-up job. Kind we tried to play today.
You'd get a hold-up job? Oh, I don't believe you, Brazos.
But did you think I was shooting down my own partners today? That's a good joke, sister. I staged this hold-up, but it didn't work on account of Hawk Durango. He cleaned out the whole bunch, and then he arrested me.
Arrested you? I don't believe a word of it.
Durango's in the brush right behind me, holding 2 guns on my back. I asked him if I couldn't say goodbye alone to you. He agreed. All right, Hawk. I said goodbye.
I can't believe it.
You better try hard to believe, ma'am. Everything Brazos said is true. You see, I got both guns on him.
I was so aware of those cards, like a harp string.
The way he cascades those cards, ma'am, you ought to know it's a professional shuffle. He does it that way when he deals from the bottom of the deck.
You mean he cheats at cards?
Call me that, sister. What's these here aces fall out? Ace of clubs, spades, hearts.
A card cheat and a bandit.
And I kill and I cut. I can do everything there is, except something good. If I try something good, I'd just drown in my own sweat.
That's right. He's just plumb cultist bad. You better go on back to your folks.
Yes, I guess I'd better go back to Nephi. Well, I'm thanking you, Hawk Durango, for saving us. And my husband will thank you, too.
Glad to help you out. Forget it. Forget both of us. Brazos and me.
And I'm thanking you, Brazos John, for one thing. For showing me Nephi Thatcher's a good man. He's a refuge and strength. I need him. I need him so much.
Goodbye, girl. Brazos. When she tells Thatcher you were the top hand in this raid.
I don't think she'll tell him, Hawk.
No, I figure you're right. She won't tell on you.
Adios, Brazos John.
Did you hear that, Hawk?
Huh?
She said, go with God, Brazos John.
Well, I didn't hear anything. I saw her turn, but she didn't say a word, Brazos.
Oh. Then it was only in my head or in my blood.
Adios, Brazos John.
I must be dreaming it. But I'm going to answer anyhow.
Adios, Susanna.
Adios.
You just heard Hawk Durango, starring Elliot Lewis with Barton Yarborough as Brazos John, a feature production of the Columbia Network.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters are on the air. And here comes Tom Mix, America's favorite cowboy.
Hot Tony, come on, boy. Bread is roasting for your breakfast. Start the day all shining bright. Gives you lots of cowboy energy with a flavor that's just right. It's delicious and nutritious, bite-sized and ready to eat. Take a sip from Paul, and tell your mom that it's Olsen ain't beat.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters bring you action, mystery, and mile-a-minute thrills. Tonight you're about to hear another episode in a baffling mystery. The mystery of the Vanishing Village. Tom Mix and Sheriff Mike are trying to solve the oddest mystery of their career. For an entire village of 600 people has disappeared, vanished as totally as if it had never existed. Worse than that, 2 men, obviously somehow connected with the disappearance of the village, have been murdered. Tom is determined to find the answer to the mystery, not only because the people must be found and the murderers apprehended, but also because Sergeant Hank Smith of the United States Army is desperately anxious to find the girl he came home to marry, a girl who lived in the village which has vanished. In a moment, we'll ride an action-packed trail of adventure. But first, here's good news. The best news you've ever heard. It's news of a sensational radio offer. Sheriff Mike Shaw has arranged to have some badges made. That's right, whistling sheriff badges, exactly like the one the vigilantes gave him. Think of it. You can have a whistling sheriff's badge exactly like Mike Shaw's for your very own. This badge is a knockout. There's never been anything like it before. You see, it's made of metal, shaped in the form of a shield, has crossed 6-shooters at the top, and the word sheriff stamped in big letters to make it official. In the center of the badge, now get this, in the center of the badge, there's a siren whistle. Yes, sir, a siren whistle built in. And when you blow on it, it sounds like this. Boy, oh boy, will you ever get a kick out of this whistling sheriff's badge. And will your friends envy you when you wear it? Now, to get yours, here's all you have to do. From the top of a red and white checkerboard package of delicious shredded Ralston, tear off the little circle with the letters RSS printed in it. Tear off the circle with RSS printed in it from the top of one shredded Ralston package. Mail this RSS circle with 10 cents in coin and your name and address to Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. That's all you have to do, and we'll send you your Whistling Sheriff's badge right away. This offer is good only in the United States. The supply is limited, so get your order in tonight. Tomorrow, sure. And now, let's join Tom, Mike, and Sergeant Smith as they examine the body of Harry Phillips, Moose Creek Junction station agent, who has just been killed. Listen.
He's the second one, Tom. Salatiel Albine was the first, and he's the second. Both of them killed the same way, by a long-range rifle equipped with a silencer.
Holy mackerel, Sheriff, how can you tell that?
Why, easy, Sergeant. You note that there window at the other end of the room has a hole through it. A neat hole drilled by a bullet. Now, that bullet come from the outside.
Nice work, Mike.
Thanks, Tom.
Bullet
Thanks.
holes, bodies, blood. And this is no motion picture. It's real. Zounds, what a tragedy. How come this man to be killed, Mix?
If I knew that, Mr. Dane, I'd know the answer to a lot of questions.
Oh, silly of me to ask you. I forget that after all, you're really only a cowboy.
That does it.
What, Mike?
I said that does it. I just naturally can't hold myself no longer, Tom. Now, looky here, you sawed-off, spindly-shanked imitation of a man.
Huh?
You may think you're a great Hollywood director. Leastways, you may think that there dinky little yellow French hat you're wearing and that blue muffler makes you one. But around here, and especially with me, you're just a little shrimp trying to make a big noise. Now, shut up.
Oh, Parrish's all. Did you hear what he said? Quiet, boys, now. Look here, my poor fellow.
I said shut up.
I ignore you. Mix, do you believe, honestly, that the death of this man has some connection with the lost village?
If you don't mind, Harlequin, I'd rather not discuss the matter with you. After all, it's none of your affair. And,
Eureka!
Calls me around again, Willie. Now what?
I found it. Boys, it has come to me in a flash of miraculous brilliance.
Oh, yes, Mr. Dane. Oh, indeedy, Mr. Dane.
You're very wonderful, Mr. Dane. Just what has come to you, Dane?
Why, the storyline for my picture. Oh, zounds, what an idea. Village vanishes. 600 people disappear. That gives us mystery. Now, for action, we have the murder of 2 men who are implicated somehow. Now, all we need is love interest. Must have love interest. How about it, boys?
Oh, yes.
Quiet, let me think.
Yes.
Quiet. Wait, I have it.
Yes, we knew you'd get it, Mr. Dane.
Oh, we did indeed. Yes, we
The
did.
sergeant there. Of course, that gives us the war interest, too. The wounded sergeant returns home, desperately anxious to marry the girl he left behind him, but the girl has vanished, too. You get it? The girl has vanished with the man.
Chin. Oh, what he did to Mr. Dane. He struck Mr. Dane with his fist.
Take it easy, Hank. Take it easy.
He struck
Get him out of here, Tom. Get him out of here, or I'll kill him.
Steady, son. I agree he's a kind of a crawling thing, but I don't reckon he knew he was hitting that close to home.
Why, that man hit me. Wait. You mean the things I said, the idea I projected? You mean it's so?
I'm afraid it is, Dane. You better wait outside and wait quietly.
Oh, yes, I perhaps silence is golden, perhaps. Come, my men, we go.
Yes, Mr. Dane. You know, you were marvelous the way you handled that, Mr. Dane.
That's supreme, Mr. Dane.
Thank you very much. I didn't want to let him have all that because I...
Hey, Tom, you surely ain't meaning to have that there loudmouth skunk as a guest at the ranch.
When I made that offer, it was hospitality, pure and simple, Mike. But now...
But now you changed your mind, huh?
No, my offer's still good, Mike.
Huh?
The great Harlequin Hugh Dane will be my guest at the T.M. Bar.
Oh, Tom.
But for a different reason, Mike, a completely different reason.
What do you mean? What's in your mind?
Just a feeling, Mike, just one of those hunches that Harlequin Hugh Dane is even more important than even he thinks he is.
Tom, you got a look in your eyes that tells me you've discovered something, that you're following a trail. Now, what is it?
No, not now, Mike. 2 men have been killed, and we've got to do something about it. I want Doc Green and Dobie to perform a thorough medical examination.
Later that night, Tom sits in his darkened office at the TM Bar. He sits hunched in a chair, his feet propped on the open window, gazing out into the star-filled night. Tom is deep in thought
and off in the distance a coyote yaps mournfully.
Who's that? Who's there?
It's me, Tom, Hank Smith.
Oh, come in, Hank.
I know you're thinking, Tom. I know you're trying to figure out what the mess is all about.
Oh, over here, Hank. No, don't turn on the light. Just take that other chair by the window.
Thanks, Tom.
Oh, I know how you're feeling, Hank. You're having a terrible time of it.
You're certainly right about that. But, Tom, I just can't help feeling guilty about having you brought all the way from Antwerp, from a hospital bed, to solve a case that hasn't got any solution.
Every mystery has a solution, Hank. Every question has an answer, and we'll find the answer to this one.
If I could only know that Mary's safe, that she's well. But the chances are she isn't. I don't know how a village could possibly disappear. But it must have been something terrible that happened.
Terrible? Yes, some ways I suppose it was.
What do you mean, in some ways?
Son, I know how important this is to you, and while I've got an idea as to what happened, Hank, I can't talk about it right now, even to you. I'm just beginning to find the signposts along the trail. Just ride along with me till I've actually found the trail itself. Will you?
Okay, Tom. But what about this Harlequin Dane jerk, the Hollywood director?
Well, for one thing, Hank, don't consider him the typical Hollywood director. Dane is one of the phonies. A lot of talk and nothing behind it. He's also a chiseler of the first water. And just before you came in, I was getting ready to make a call to the Twin Rivers Hotel. A call in connection with Mr. Dane. Do you mind if I do it now?
Holy mackerel, of course not, Tom.
So you see, there was one thing among others that I noticed about Mr. Dane that I never noticed before. Oh, Twin Rivers Hotel, please. Yes, ma'am, thank you. See, I've seen him often, Hank, when I've been making a picture in Hollywood. Him and his hangers-on, those boys who yes him to death. But there was one hombre who isn't with him on this trip, and that's surprising.
Oh, who's that, Tom?
A publicity agent named Hardy Post. A crackerjack when it came to publicity. Full of ideas. But he loved to gamble. Result was, he was always in debt. No decent studio would have him around. But, hello? Yes, this is Tom Mix speaking. Oh, hello, Bill. Say, Bill, have you got a person registered by the name of Hardy Post? Yes, Hardy Post, that's right. Yes, I'll wait, Bill. As I was saying, Hank, Dane was glad to hire him for a small salary when Hardy was broke and needed the money, and... Oh, yes, Bill? I see. Mm-hmm. How long has he been registered? July 17th. Yes, I see. Oh, no, Bill. Now, listen, Bill. Just forget I called. Right. Oh, by the way, how's the youngster doing? Uh-huh. Specialist did the job, did he? Oh, that's good. Oh, no, forget it, Bill. Forget it. You don't owe me a thing. Oh, much obliged, Bill. So long, fella. I was right, Hank. By heaven, I was right.
Tom, you're excited. What is it?
I don't know. I don't really know, but here are the facts. An entire village back. A phony Hollywood director gets a letter from your father, a letter dated July the 8th. The letter says your father will be glad to have him come and make a picture in Smithville. Now, on July 17th, the Hollywood director's press agent arrives in Twin Rivers, the closest large town to Smithville, and he's been registered there ever since.
Tom, what are you driving at?
I tell you, I don't know, Hank. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm giving you the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that we've got to put together. Now then, the Hollywood director, Harlequin Q. Dane, and his press agent, Hardy Post, are both the kind of men you wouldn't trust 10 inches. Also, the minute they enter the picture, an entire village disappears. I tell you, Hank, they're connected with us somehow, somewhere. I knew Harlequin was in on it earlier this evening when he shot his mouth off about the picture he was going to make.
I don't get it, Tom.
Hank, the great Dane is the type of person who will tell a lie and then begin to believe it himself. You hit him because he began to invent a story around you and a missing girl. But he wasn't inventing it.
Huh?
He knew it was actually so, Hank. He knew, even though he didn't realize it, that you had come back and found your boyhood sweetheart missing.
Well, I just don't understand, Tom.
Well, Hank, here, let me put it another way. The so-called Great Dane, and believe me, that's not his right name.
Wait, Tom, out there in the moonlight, staggering toward the house.
Huh? Great guns, it's a girl. Look, she stumbled. She's fallen. Come on, let's get to her, Hank. Through the window.
Tom, I got a feeling. I think...
Here we are, Hank, here we are. The girl.
Tom, I was right. It's Mary. It's Mary, the girl I came back to marry. And she's hurt, Tom. She's hurt badly.
What is the meaning of this new development? Where has Mary Slade come from? What story will she have to tell about the vanished village of Smithville? Straight shooters, here's your chance to be a detective. You have all the facts and all the clues, just as many as Tom himself has. See if you can figure out the answer to this strange mystery yourself. And to check your solution and to follow a trail of breathtaking adventure, be sure to join Tom Mix and his Ralston Straight Shooters next Monday in the next episode of The Mystery of the Vanishing Village. And don't miss this sensational offer. To get a handsome Whistling Sheriff's badge, exactly like Mike Shaw's, act tonight, tomorrow sure. Boy, this badge is made of metal and it's a beauty. Designed in the form of a shield, it has cross six-shooters at the top and the word Sheriff in big raised letters to make it official. And built in the center of the badge is a siren whistle. That's right, a siren whistle used by the vigilante. When you blow on the whistle, it sounds like this. Boy, oh boy, this is one offer you don't want to miss. And here's all you have to do. To get your badge, just ask Mother to get you a red and white checkerboard package of delicious bite-sized shredded Ralston. From the top of the package, tear off the little circle with the letters RSS in it. Mail this RSS circle with your name and address and 10 cents in coin to Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. Do it tonight, tomorrow sure. This offer good only in the United States. Tom Mix was played by Curly Bradley. Don Gordon speaking. The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters are on the air. And here comes Tom Mix, America's favorite cowboy.
Hot Tony, come on, boy. Shredded Ralston for your breakfast. Starts the day off shining bright. Gives you lots of cowboy energy with a flavor that's just right. It's delicious and nutritious, bite-sized and ready to eat. Take a tip from Tom, go and tell your mom shredded Ralston can't be beat.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters bring you action, mystery, and mile-a-minute thrills. Tonight you're about to hear another episode in a baffling mystery. The mystery of the Vanishing Village. Tom Mix and Sheriff Mike are trying to solve the oddest mystery of their career. For an entire village of 600 people has disappeared, vanished as totally as if it had never existed. Worse than that, 2 men, obviously somehow connected with the disappearance of the village, have been murdered. Tom is determined to find the answer to the mystery, not only because the people must be found and the murderers apprehended, but also because Sergeant Hank Smith of the United States Army is desperately anxious to find the girl he came home to marry, a girl who lived in the village which has vanished. In a moment, we'll ride an action-packed trail of adventure. But first, here's good news. The best news you've ever heard. It's news of a sensational radio offer. Sheriff Mike Shaw has arranged to have some badges made. That's right, whistling sheriff badges, exactly like the one the vigilantes gave him. Think of it. You can have a whistling sheriff's badge exactly like Mike Shaw's for your very own. This badge is a knockout. There's never been anything like it before. You see, it's made of metal, shaped in the form of a shield, has cross six-shooters at the top, and the word sheriff stamped in big letters to make it official. In the center of the badge, now get this, in the center of the badge, there's a siren whistle. Yes, sir, a siren whistle built in. And when you blow on it, it sounds like this. Boy, oh boy, will you ever get a kick out of this whistling sheriff's badge. And will your friends envy you when you wear it? Now, to get yours, here's all you have to do. From the top of a red and white checkerboard package of delicious shredded Ralston, tear off the little circle with the letters RSS printed in it. Tear off the circle with RSS printed in it from the top of one shredded Ralston package. Mail this RSS circle with 10 cents in coin and your name and address to Tom Mix, Box 808,
St. Louis, Missouri. That's all you have to do, and we'll send you your whistling sheriff's badge right away. This offer is good only in the United States. The supply is limited, so get your order in tonight. Tomorrow, sure. And now, let's join Tom, Mike, and Sergeant Smith as they examine the body of Harry Phillips, Moose Creek Junction station agent, who has just been killed. Listen.
He's the second one, Tom. Salatiel Albine was the first, and he's the second. Both of them killed the same way, by a long-range rifle equipped with a silencer.
Holy mackerel, Sheriff, how can you tell that?
Why, easy, Sergeant. You note that there window at the other end of the room has a hole through it. A neat hole drilled by a bullet. Now, that bullet come from the outside.
Nice work, Mike.
Thanks, Tom.
Bullet
Thanks.
holes, bodies, blood. And this is no motion picture. It's real. Zounds, what a tragedy. How come this man to be killed, Mix?
If I knew that, Mr. Dane, I'd know the answer to a lot of questions.
Oh, silly of me to ask you. I forget that after all, you're really only a cowboy.
That does it.
What, Mike?
I said that does it. I just naturally can't hold myself no longer, Tom. Now, looky here, you sawed-off, spindly shank imitation of a man.
Huh?
You may think you're a great Hollywood director. Leastways, you may think that there dinky little yellow French hat you're wearing and that blue muffler makes you one. But around here, and especially with me, you're just a little shrimp trying to make a big noise. Now, shut up.
Oh, Parrish is all. Did you hear what he said to H.
Oh, quiet, boys, now. Look here, my poor fellow.
I said shut up.
I ignore you. Mix, do you believe, honestly, that the death of this man has some connection with the lost village?
If you don't mind, Harlequin, I'd rather not discuss the matter with you. After all, it's none of your affair. And
Eureka! Eureka!
Calls me around again, Willie. Now what?
I've found it. Boys, it has come to me in a flash of miraculous brilliance.
Oh, yes, Mr. Dane. Oh, indeedy, Mr. Dane.
You're very wonderful, Mr. Dane.
Just what has come to you, Dane?
Why, the storyline for my picture. Oh, zounds, what an idea. Village vanishes. 600 people disappear. That gives us mystery. Now, for action, we have the murder of 2 men who are implicated somehow. Now, all we need is love interest. Must have love interest. How about it, boys?
Oh, yes.
Quiet, let me think.
Yes.
Quiet. Wait. I have it.
Yes, we knew you'd get it, Mr. Dane.
Oh, we did indeed. Yes, we
The
did.
sergeant there. Of course, that gives us the war interest, too. The wounded sergeant returns home, desperately anxious to marry the girl he left behind him, but the girl has vanished, too. Do you get it? The girl has vanished with the village.
Oh, what he did to Mr. Dane. He struck Mr. Dane with his fist.
Now, take it easy, Hank. Take
Why,
it easy.
he struck
Get
me.
him out of here, Tom. Get him out of here, or I'll kill him.
Steady, steady, son. I agree he's a kind of a crawling thing, but I don't reckon he knew he was hitting that close to home.
Why, that man hit me. Wait. You mean you mean the things I said, the idea I projected? You mean it's so?
I'm afraid it is, Dane. You better wait outside and wait quietly.
Oh, yes. I perhaps silence is golden. Perhaps. Come, my men. We go.
Yes, Mr. Dane. You know you were marvelous the way you handled that thing, Mr. Dane.
Simply supreme, Mr. Dane.
Thank you very much. I didn't want to let him have all I have because I think...
Hey, Tom, you surely ain't meaning to have that there loudmouth skunk as a guest at the ranch.
When I made that offer, it was hospitality, pure and simple, Mike. But now...
But now you changed your mind, huh?
No, my offer's still good, Mike.
Huh?
The great Harlequin Q. Dane will be my guest at the T.M. Bar.
Oh, Tom.
But for a different reason, Mike. A completely different reason.
What do you mean? What's in your mind?
Just a feeling, Mike. Just one of those hunches that Harlequin Q. Dane is even more important than even he thinks he is.
Tom, you got a look in your eyes that tells me you've discovered something, that you're following a trail. Now, what is it?
No, not now, Mike. 2 men have been killed, and we've got to do something about it. I want Doc Green and Dobie to perform a thorough medical examination.
Later that night, Tom sits in his darkened office at the TM bar. He sits hunched in a chair, his feet propped on the open window, gazing out into the star-filled night. Tom is deep in thought, and off in the distance, a coyote yaps mournfully.
Who's that? Who's there?
It's me, Tom, Hank Smith.
Oh, come in, Hank.
I know you're thinking, Tom. I know you're trying to figure out what the mess is all about.
Oh, over here, Hank. No, don't turn on the light. Just take that other chair by the window.
Thanks, Tom.
Oh, I know how you're feeling, Hank. You're having a terrible time of it.
You're certainly right about that. But, Tom, I just can't help feeling guilty about having you brought all the way from Antwerp from a hospital bed to solve a case that hasn't got any solution.
Every mystery has a solution, Hank. Every question has an answer, and we'll find the answer to this one.
If I could only know that Mary's safe, that she's well. But the chances are she isn't. I don't know how a village could possibly disappear, but it must have been something terrible that happened.
Terrible? Yeah, in some ways I suppose it was.
What do you mean, in some ways?
Son, I know how important this is to you, and while I've got an idea as to what happened, Hank, I can't talk about it right now, even to you. I'm just beginning to find the signposts along the trail. Just ride along with me till I've actually found the trail itself. Will you?
Okay, Tom. But what about this Harlequin Dane jerk, the Hollywood director?
Well, for one thing, Hank, don't consider him the typical Hollywood director. Dane is one of the phonies. A lot of talk and nothing behind it. He's also a chiseler of the first water. Now, just before you came in, I was getting ready to make a call to the Twin Rivers Hotel. A call in connection with Mr. Dane. Do you mind if I do it now?
Holy mackerel, of course not, Tom.
So you see, there was one thing, among others, that I noticed about Mr. Dane that I never noticed before. Oh, Twin Rivers Hotel, please. Yes, ma'am, thank you. See, I've seen him often, Hank, when I've been making a picture in Hollywood. Him and his hangers-on, those boys who yes him to death. But there was one hombre who isn't with him on this trip, and that's surprising.
Oh? Who's that, Tom?
A publicity agent named Hardy Post. A crackerjack when it came to publicity. Full of ideas. But he loved to gamble. Result was he was always in debt. No decent studio would have him around. But, hello? Yes, this is Tom Mix speaking. Oh, hello, Bill. Say, Bill, have you got a person registered by the name of Hardy Post? Yes, Hardy Post, that's right. Yes, I'll wait, Bill. Well, as I was saying, Hank, Dane was glad to hire him for a small salary when Hardy was broke and needed the money, and... Oh, yes, Bill? I see. Mm-hmm. How long's he been registered? July 17th. Yes, I see. Oh, no, Bill. Now, listen, Bill. Just forget I called. Right. Oh, and by the way, how's the youngster doing? Uh-huh. Specialist did the job, did he? Oh, that's good. Oh, no, forget it, Bill. Forget it. You don't owe me a thing. Oh, much obliged, Bill. So long, fella. I was right, Hank. By heaven, I was right.
Tom, you're excited. What is it?
I don't know. I don't really know, but here are the facts. An entire village bank. A phony Hollywood director gets a letter from your father, a letter dated July the 8th. The letter says your father will be glad to have him come and make a picture in Smithville. Now, on July 17th, the Hollywood director's press agent arrives in Twin Rivers, the closest large town to Smithville, and he's been registered there ever since.
Tom, what are you driving at?
I tell you, I don't know, Hank. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm giving you the pieces of a jigsaw puzzle that we've got to put together. Now then, the Hollywood director, Harlequin Q. Dane, and his press agent, Hardy Post, are both the kind of men you wouldn't trust 10 inches. Also, the minute they enter the picture, an entire village disappears. I tell you, Hank, they're connected with us somehow, somewhere. I knew Harlequin was in on it earlier this evening when he shot his mouth off about the picture he was going to make.
I don't get it, Tom.
Hank, the great Dane is the type of person who will tell a lie and then begin to believe it himself. You hit him because he began to invent a story around you and a missing girl. But he wasn't inventing it.
Huh?
He knew it was actually so, Hank. He knew, even though he didn't realize it, that you had come back and found your boyhood sweetheart missing.
Well, I just don't understand, Tom.
Well, Hank, here, let me put it another way. The so-called Great Dane, and believe me, that's not his right name.
Wait, Tom, out there in the moonlight, staggering toward the house.
Huh? Great guns, it's a girl. Look, she stumbled. She's fallen. Come on, let's get to her, Hank. Through the window.
Tom, I got a feeling. I think...
Here we are, Hank, here we are. The girl.
Tom, I was right. It's Mary. It's Mary, the girl I came back to marry. And she's hurt, Tom. She's hurt badly.
What is the meaning of this new development? Where has Mary Slade come from? What story will she have to tell about the vanished village of Smithville? Straight shooters, here's your chance to be a detective. You have all the facts and all the clues, just as many as Tom himself has. See if you can figure out the answer to this strange mystery yourself. And to check your solution and to follow a trail of breathtaking adventure, be sure to join Tom Mix and his Ralston Straight Shooters next Monday in the next episode of The Mystery of the Vanishing Village. And don't miss this sensational offer. To get a handsome whistling sheriff's badge, exactly like Mike Shaw's, act tonight, tomorrow sure. Boy, this badge is made of metal, and it's a beauty. Designed in the form of a shield, it has cross six-shooters at the top and the word sheriff in big raised letters to make it official. And built in the center of the badge is a siren whistle. That's right, a siren whistle used by the vigilantes. When you blow on the whistle, it sounds like this. Boy, oh boy, this is one offer you don't want to miss. And here's all you have to do. To get your badge, just ask Mother to get you a red and white checkerboard package of delicious, bite-sized shredded Ralston. From the top of the package, tear off the little circle with the letters RSS in it. Mail this RSS circle with your name and address and 10 cents in coin to Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. That's Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. Do it tonight, tomorrow sure. This offer good only in the United States. Tom Mix was played by Curly Bradley. Don Gordon speaking.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters are on the air. And here comes Tom Mix, America's favorite cowboy.
That's right. Come on, boy. Shredded Ralston for your breakfast. Starts the day all shining bright. Gives you lots of cowboy energy with a flavor that's just right. It's delicious and nutritious, bite-sized and ready to eat. Take a tip from home, go and tell your mom shredded Ralston can't beat.
The Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters bring you action, mystery, and mile-a-minute thrills. Tonight you're about to hear another episode in the baffling mystery. The mystery of the Vanishing Village. How can an entire village, houses, stores, streets, and over 600 people disappear almost overnight without leaving a trace? This is the baffling mystery that now confronts Tom Mix. For the village of Smithville has vanished. 2 men have been murdered, and a young girl named Mary Slade has narrowly escaped with her life when someone attempted to kill her because she knew too much. Right now at the Twin Rivers Hospital, Mary Slade's life hangs in the balance. Badly beaten and unconscious ever since she stumbled into the TM bar, Mary is being taken up to the operating room in an elevator, and suddenly the electric current in the hospital has failed or been cut off. Tom must work fast if he's to save the girl's life. In a moment, we bring you mystery, thrills, and plenty of action.
Newsroom in New York. There's just been an announcement made in Washington that there will be a presidential press and radio conference at 7 p.m. There will be a presidential press and radio conference at 7 p.m. For the news, listen to your mutual station.
Boy, it's the best-looking badge you ever saw. When you wear it, you'll be the envy of your neighborhood. So don't wait. Send for yours today. The supply is limited, so act fast. Here's all you have to do. From the top of a package of delicious shredded Ralston, tear off the little circle with the letters RSS in it. Mail this RSS circle with your name and address and 10 cents in coin to Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. I repeat, mail the RSS seal with your name and address and 10 cents in coin to Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. That's all you have to do, and we'll send you your whistling sheriff's badge right away. This offer is good only in the United States. And now, straight shooters, let's join Tom, Mike, and Sergeant Hank Smith at the Twin Rivers Hospital. The lights are off, and everyone is in the dock. Listen.
The elevator.
The elevators are taking Mary up on it. Stop.
There's a fraction sourdough, Tom. That means...
It means that if we don't get it started pronto, that girl will die.
She can't die, Tom. You mustn't let her die.
Hey, who turned those lights out?
Blast it all, I'm attending a patient in here.
Where are the lights? Is the current failed?
Hey, you, one of you. Where's the main switch?
Who in the blazes are you?
Stop asking questions and listen to me. The elevator to the emergency operating room is stopped and there's a patient on it. Someone they've got to operate on fast. Where's the main switch?
Down in the basement.
How do I get there?
Well, the door's at the end of this corridor. If you can find it in the darkness, I know where it is. Come on, I'll lead the way.
That's the way to talk.
Right with you, Tom.
No, you stay here with Hank, Mike. No need for all of us to go.
Well, are you coming or not?
Yes, right away. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Can't see this plain darkness. Here's the cellar door, though. Now, once you step on these stairs, you'll break your neck.
Right. How many steps are there?
Keep right on coming. I know this fairway.
I can't see a thing.
I can see you just a little. Well, what's that white stuff you got on your face?
Now, my face is completely bandaged except my eyes and my mouth. Never mind that. Where's the main light switch? Seconds mean life and death.
Just stand there a second. Don't move.
All right, Mr. Right.
Yeah, sorry to do this, Mr. Mix. You were always a pretty good guy, but that girl's got to be put out of the way. I guess by the time you come to, she'll be finished. So I'll just be on my way.
I'm dizzy. Sure feel dizzy. Must have hit me with blackjack or something like that. Then knocked me out, though. Bandages around my head saved me. Just made me feel numb all over for a second or two. I could hear him talking, but I couldn't move. What's that? Somebody groaned on the floor down here. I gotta get to him. Somebody lying on the floor, moving around a little.
Get away from me. Get away, you...
Oh, easy, partner, easy. This is Tom Mix. Who are you?
Janitor. Janitor of the hospital. Somebody slugged me.
Now, listen. The main light switch. Where is it? Quick.
On the wall.
Which wall?
I don't know. I can't tell just where I am in the darkness. Oh, boy, am I dizzy. My head...
Never mind. I'll find it. I'll grope for it. Yeah. Here's the wall. I gotta grope along it and keep moving. Till my hands touch something. Oh, I'm in luck. It's like the handle of a light switch. We'll soon find out. Now, the lights are on.
Yeah.
I was right. The elevator started again. Now, partner, let's have a look at you.
I'll be all right. I hope so, anyhow.
You got a bad bump on the back of your head.
Yep.
Did you see the man who hit you?
No, I don't remember a thing. He must have hit me an awful count.
Yeah, I'm afraid he did.
There's Tom now. Everything's all right now, Tom, thanks to you. The elevator started again, and sassafras and sourdough. What in thunderation happened to you two?
Mike, the hombre that volunteered to show me where the main switch was actually the maverick who turned off the current.
What?
Yeah, he was able to see me in the dark because of the bandages on my face. He slugged me with a blackjack.
Why, the dirty...
This man is the janitor of the hospital. He was slugged, too.
Well, of all the ornery, slab-sided, low-down... Tom, come on, let's get after him. He must be in the hospital somewhere.
No, Mike, no. Chances are he's made good his escape. Besides, I couldn't see him in the dark, and he probably disguised his voice. I wouldn't be able to recognize him. Yep. Well, that's funny.
Hey, what's funny, Tom?
After he knocked me down, he thought I was unconscious, but I wasn't. Just numb from the shock of the blow. The bandages saved me. After he knocked me down, I recollect hearing him say... His voice was kind of far off. It sounded strange, but I heard him all right. I heard him say, "Sorry I had to do this, Mix. You were always a pretty good guy."
Shucks, Tom, that kind of sounds like the hombre who met you before.
That's what I was figuring, Mike. I'm convinced the hombre that slugged me knows me well, mighty well. That may help some, not much. Now, where's Hank Smith, Mike?
Well, he hot-footed it up to the floor where the operating room is. Wanted to be sure the elevator got up there all right, and well, he wanted to be near his girl, Tom. I sure hope she don't die. He'll kill that there boy if she does.
Yes, I know, Mike. Well, there's nothing we can do for her. She's in capable hands. I think we'd better get back to the hotel and see if Hardy Post has shown up yet.
You seem almighty anxious to have a chin fest with that cayuse.
Anxious? Yeah. In a way I am, Mike. In a way I am. desk if Post has come in yet, Mike. Wait a minute.
Huh?
That's Post standing at the desk now.
Well, walls me around again, Willie. Do they all dress like that in Hollywood? Just look at that there tie.
Well, Mr. Post is a publicity agent, Mike, and he's not noted for being conservative. He seems to be raising the roof at the moment. Come on, Mike.
You're crazy. How the Blue Blazers going to whole town disappear?
I'm sure I don't know, sir.
Now, of course you don't. No, brother, I thought I was good at making up yarns, but you got me beat. Now, you get to Homer Sam Smith on the telephone and tell him I want to talk to Harlequin Q. Dane.
Dane? Hey, Tom, that there's the Hollywood director that's staying at the TM bar.
Yeah.
Hello, Hardy. Who is it?
Tom Mix.
Well, Tom Mix. Well, say, I didn't recognize you behind those bandages. Well, this is a surprise. Good to see you, Tom. Good to see you.
You seem to be having a little trouble, Hardy.
Trouble? It's insane. This fool behind the desk telling me that the village of Smithville has disappeared and that the great Harlequin Q. Dane, Hollywood's gift to the world, has disappeared with it.
Well, he must have, sir, if he went there.
Look, you, I'm going to climb right over that counter and break your skull in 17 places if you say that just once
Just a minute, Hardy. Just a minute.
Why, Tom, the guy's nuts. He's mad. He's lost his head.
No, he hasn't, Hardy. The town of Smithville has actually disappeared.
What?
Yes, it's true, Hardy. But your friend and employer, Mr. Dane, hasn't disappeared with it. He's staying with me at the TM bar.
We'll leave it to Dane to wangle free board. Only I thought he was going to get it out of the guy who owns Smithville, Sam Smith.
Well, as it happens, he's staying with me, Hardy. I'll explain later. Right now, though, I'd like to ask the desk clerk here how he knows Smithville has disappeared.
Here comes your answer in the body, Mr. Mix. I'm afraid they heard your next.
Hey, Mix, we represent the press.
Just arrived an hour ago, Mr. Mix. Out for a story on this vanished village.
Shoot us the dope, Mix. What's the game?
Now, hold it, boys. Hold it, boys. Hold it. Now, look, fellas. I don't know anything. Leastways, I don't know any more than you do.
No, the world's waiting for this story, Mix.
Come on,
We'll make headlines across the nation.
I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry. I don't know a thing. If I learn anything of interest, I'll let you know.
You mind if we keep in touch with you?
Yeah, how about it?
Would it do me any good to say no?
Very good.
Hardy, if you're anxious to get in touch with your employer, the great Dane, suppose you come on back to the ranch with me.
Oh, Tom.
Hey, Tom, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah, I've been cooped up in this hotel room for almost a month, it seems like. And I gotta get in touch with Dane.
That's what I figured. Can you ride a horse, Hardy?
Oh, sure.
Then I reckon we can get one for you, and we'll all ride back
now,
together.
Wait just a minute. Before you go, Mr. Mix. Sure you haven't got a story for us?
How about it, Mr. Mix? Just anything at all.
Now, boys, I told you, boys, as soon as I learn anything, I'll be sure to let you know.
Maybe I shouldn't have been so quick about saying I could ride a horse. How far is the TM bar from here?
Oh, another 8 miles or so, Hardy.
It's a beautiful night for riding, Mr. Post. You ought to be enjoying it.
Oh, sure, I am. Nothing like the great open spaces underneath the stars and the lights of towns up in the valley below you. At least one town.
Where do you see it? Thunderation. Tom.
I see it, Mike. Street lights gleaming in the night. The yellow lights of windows.
Tom, we must be going loco.
Hey, what's the matter with you two guys? You see a town down in the valley and you go nuts.
Don't you understand, Hardy? That's Smithville.
What?
That's the spot where Smithville used to be. And now, by thunderation, it's come back.
Well, there's a strange new development for you. What does it mean? What can the answer possibly be to these odd, fantastic happenings just over the county line from Dobie? Have you figured it out yet? Well, you better hurry, because Tom is rapidly beginning to put two and two together. Thrills, action, and adventure lie ahead of us, so be sure to join Tom Mix and his Lawson Straight Shooters tomorrow in the next breathtaking episode of The Mystery of the Vanishing Village. And don't miss this sensational offer. Sheriff Mike Shaw will send you an exact official copy of his famous whistling badge for your very own. Just imagine wearing an exact copy of the same badge Sheriff Mike wears. Boy, this badge is made of metal, shaped like an official shield, has crossed six-shooters at the top, and the word Sheriff in big raised letters. And right in the center of this handsome knockout-looking all-metal badge there's a special siren whistle built in. When you blow the whistle, it sounds like this. Boy, oh boy, all the money in the world can't buy a badge like this. It's not for sale anywhere at any price. But Sheriff Mike will send you one as long as his limited supply lasts. And here's all you have to do to get yours. From the top of a package of delicious bite-sized shredded Ralston, tear off the little circle with the letters RSS in it. Mail this little circle with RSS in it together with your name and address and 10 cents in coin to Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. Be sure to enclose 10 cents in coin. Remember the address. Tom Mix, Box 808, St. Louis, Missouri. That's all you have to do, and Sheriff Mike will send you his badge right away. But get your order in tonight, tomorrow sure. They're going fast, and you don't want to be disappointed. This offer is good only in the United States. Tom Mix was played by Curly Bradley. Don Gordon speaking.
Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters are on the air. And here comes Tom Mix, America's favorite cowboy.
Huck Tony, come on, boy.
Start the morning with hot Ralston, and you surely will agree that this warm-up, build-up breakfast gives you cowboy energy. It's delicious and nutritious, made of golden western wheat. Take a sip from home, go and tell your mom hot Ralston can't beat.
This is the 50th anniversary of the Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters. And here he is, as he was heard for many of those years, Curly Bradley, Tom Mix of radio.
Howdy, straight shooters. This is Tom Mix, and I'm glad to be with you again. And to tell you the wind-up of one of my strangest cases, the mystery of the vanishing village. Let me go back to when Mike Shaw, Hardy Post, and I were riding along the trail and saw those lights of Smithville.
Tom, I don't rightly savvy what's going on here. A whole town popping up out of the nothing where it disappeared.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't know much about this, but I just work in the movies. I don't get paid to go into real danger.
You sit your horse up here on the ridge. Mike, got your 6 guns loosened in their holsters?
Like always, Tom.
All right, then let's ride. Mike and I took a shallow grade down from the road. It was tough going, but Mike and I knew what we were doing. Then we covered a short stretch of level ground, and then we were pulling up even with the first lighted lamppost.
Sure is quiet, Tom. No music, no dogs, no voices.
Oh, you're right, Mike. In more ways than one, Smithville is a ghost town.
But the lights are on, Tom. Who lit the lights?
Who does light the lights in a ghost town, Mike?
You're making the short hairs on the back of my neck bristle up.
Only if you think what somebody wants you to think, Mike. Only if you see what they want you to see.
I can see this village of Smithville, Tom. I can see that it's real. I can lean over and touch the wall of this dry goods store. I can pound on it. It's real. I can feel it.
Yes, Mike. Can you even smell it?
Smell it? Well, I sure, Tom. I can. When I pounded that siding, it raised some fresh sawdust.
Yes. Fresh sawdust.
In the beam of that street light, I can see that look on your face. You know something, Tom.
No, Mike. Not know it for a proven fact, but I now have a reason to suspect. No, I can't say it yet. But I think we're finally on the trail that will wind up this mystery of the vanishing village. Mike and I searched the village of Smithville, but it was as we suspected. Not a living person was there. We had to get back to Hardy Post on the Ridge Road. He was waiting for us. All the same, I was glad we were taking him back to the TM bar where I could keep an eye on him. At the ranch, I took aside one of my oldest compadres. Now that you're back from the rodeo circuit, can I ask you to do a job that isn't exactly part of ranch work?
I reckon I'm ready to saddle up for any job you ask me to do, Tom.
Well, I knew I could count on you, Pecos. I want you to go over to the hospital where Doc Green is treating Mary Slade. I want you to see that a certain sidewinder doesn't get a chance to strike again.
That snake better keep to his hole.
Pecos told me you wanted to see me, Doc Green.
Oh, Hank Smith. Yes, my boy. I wanted to see you. And I want your help.
For Mary? Oh, anything, Doc.
We've done all we can. There's her mind. Maybe you could say her soul. Maybe the soul isn't the province of a country doctor, but you and I have to reach there.
I'm ready, Doc.
All right, come along over here. I know she looks pale, but her breathing is regular. I'm going to give her an injection now. Stimulant. Should start working immediately. Speak to her, Hank. Bring her back to you.
Mary? Mary, dear. It's Hank.
She's responding. Go ahead, Hank.
Mary, dearest, can you hear me?
Her eyelids are fluttering. Her eyes are open.
Don't be afraid, Mary. It's me, Hank. Do you understand? Hank.
Oh, she knows you now, Hank. It's funny. She seemed almost frightened of you at first.
I know why that was, Doc.
Because she's asleep now. She'll wake in a few hours. Well, we have to leave her now, Hank. It's important she rest. Come along outside.
Doc, how's that little gal doing?
Fine, Pecos. Hank, you were saying you knew what... Well, there's that movie director, Harlequin Q. Dane. Tom and Mike told me about him.
He couldn't have told you what a miserable excuse for a human being he is.
Ah, the sick room where lies the poor unfortunate Mary Slade, struck down in her youth and beauty by some foul fiend. We must photograph her. Cinema Verity demands it. Photograph her even at death's door.
Oh, brilliant idea, Mr. Dane, brilliant.
Why, you dirty... Hold on, Hank, hold on. Tom sent me over here to take care of things like this. Howdy, Mr. Dane. My name is Pecos Williams. That should interest me? Well, Tom Mix thought you might be interested in me for local color. See, I got a big hat and boots. Out of my way. I'm going to see that girl. I even got myself a six-shooter. I favor a single-action model myself. See, you cock it like this. See, the hammer stays back just like that. Harmless until you pull the trigger here. My good man, you have that monstrous weapon pointed at me. Goodness gracious. It's perfectly harmless until I pull this trigger. Don't touch that. I'm getting out of this rural madhouse. Marshal Mitchell here.
Good work, Pecos.
Hank, there's something I have to know. Something I think Pecos will want to tell Tom. Why do you think Mary was afraid of you at first?
Because, Doc, I look like my father.
How's that?
My father, Sam Smith.
Sam Smith, the man who owns the vanishing village of Smithville.
Mike, we're going to have a little chat with Hardy Post. He still hasn't come down for breakfast, has he?
Hasn't budged out of his room since last night, Tom. Sent down an order of a cookie to send his breakfast up on a tray.
We'll bring Mr. Post some questions to chew on. Come on.
Can't say I care much for that Hollywood publicity man, Tom.
Hardy Post and his boss, the so-called Great Dane, never had a very good reputation in Hollywood. Now, here we are.
Yeah. Bring it in.
Oh, Bix, Sheriff Shaw. Thought you were my breakfast.
Do I look like a fried egg?
To preserve our friendship, Sheriff, I'll not answer that one.
Friendship is a mighty important word in these parts.
You're right, Mike. Now forget about your stomach for the moment, Hardy. I want to ask you some questions.
You take it seriously, don't you, Mix? About being a marshal in this hick town of Dobie. Hey, you were great in films. All this Western gear here around the room. Can you still use this lariat?
Oh, I imagine I can put a loop on what I have my eye on, Hardy. Let me see. I think you get your rope spinning like this.
Oh, good.
I still know how to put a rope where I want it.
You put it on me, I'll take it off.
Well, at least the loop isn't around your neck, Hardy. At least not yet. They hang people for murder.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do, Mr. Post. As sheriff, I've seen that look on men's faces before. You know exactly what Tom is talking about. It's as clear as creek water.
Listen, Hardy, I know everything. I know how Smithville vanished. I know how it came back. And I know who's behind it.
You couldn't.
Oh, but I do. You and the Great Dane wanted a hit movie. You do just about anything to get the publicity to make a hit. It meant millions of dollars. You two hatched up a scheme to make a whole village disappear from the face of the earth.
How could I talk a whole town full of people into getting lost?
You and the Dane needed help. And I reckon Dane could spot a man who would do just about anything for enough money. A man like Sam Smith. That's why his boy Hank couldn't take the greed that has come to possess Sam when his whole town seemed to be getting smaller.
You mean Dane got Sam Smith to talk all the people who rented his stores and houses into going into hiding somewhere?
Yes, Mike. For a supposed publicity stunt. Those people owed Sam a lot, and they hadn't seen through him yet the way his boy had. But Sam still has them hiding out somewhere. Where is it, Hardy? Line shacks on the mesa? Those caves on Thunder Mountain? Uh-huh. That's it. The caves.
You don't know what you're talking about. How could the village, the houses, the buildings come and go like magic?
It was magic. Hollywood magic. The movie crew disassembled that handful of buildings in Smithville, stored them, and put them back when the time came. All clever work. But I could smell the fresh sawdust of new construction when Smithville reappeared.
Well, how could you transport all that stuff?
Oh, you shouldn't have asked that one, Hardy. You used the trucking company of Salathiel Albine and the railroad spur managed by Harvey Phillips. And when it got too serious, they threatened to talk. And you lost your head and killed them.
No.
Oh, yes. Things were getting out of hand. Mary Slade wouldn't wait with the other villagers. She wanted to see Hank Smith. Then greed-crazed Sam Smith, her future father-in-law, struck her down. Now, that's obvious from the fear she showed when she mistook the son for the father.
You're right, Mix. It's all coming apart. Things going wrong. Why couldn't they stick to the script?
Ah, those are my sentiments exactly, Hardy Post.
Oh, you opened that door quietly, Dane.
Tom, that looks like some kind of foreign gun the Great Dane is toting there.
Where are your yes men now, Dane?
Oh, I don't need them for this, Mix. I've relied on flunkies too much lately. My problem is that I need a whole new cast. I would have started the replacements with Mary if it hadn't been for that interfering Pecos. But all in all, I think I'll enjoy beginning with you instead.
I don't think you will.
Dane, you've got a lot to learn about the West and real men like Tom Mix. Sure, you got a gun pointed at Tom, but you're a city feller, full of soft living and giving other folks orders. Tom's muscles and nerves are trained to an edge you can't even imagine. And when he sees your fingers start to tighten on the trigger, he'll draw his gun from his holster and fire before your brain can even get the picture.
Oh, that's nonsense. Bluff.
No, Dane. Bluff won't work. Not for you, not for me. This is the showdown. Drop that gun.
No. I'll shoot.
Take it easy, Dane. I just shot the gun out of your hand. Try counting your fingers. I think you'll find them all there. But that sore hand is just the beginning of the paying you've got to do. You've messed in people's lives. You've caused deaths. You can't tell your fantasy from reality. But I've learned what's real in this world for men like you, Dane, and you, Hardy Post, in a jail cell or your own conscience. In the long haul or the short, men like you, lawbreakers, always lose. Straight shooters always win. It pays to shoot straight.
And so ends the mystery of the vanishing village. Tom Mix was played by Curly Bradley, featuring Jack Lester as Mike, Les Tremaine as Doc, and Jim Harmon as Pecos, with Art Hearn and Richard Gulla. Original material written, produced, and directed by Jim Harmon. Production assistant Barbara Gratz. Engineer Steve Markham for Frank Brzee Studios.
Get along, you little doggies. You know that the fairy And now for the thrilling adventures of Lightning Jim.
How do you like that, Pop?
That's shooting them, Billy. Try it again. Why, by the great corn-toad kid, you got that tin can clock.
And the second time it was in the air, too. Am I getting better, Pop? Am I honest?
Sure, kid. With a button your age, just going on 14, there ain't no kid any place can shoot better than you.
Gee, but I ain't going to stop practicing. Not till I can shoot as good as you can, Pop. For you're the best shot in Marlowe's gang. You're probably the best shot in the whole world.
No, kid. I know at least one gent who's better than me. Lightning Jim.
You mean the badge toter?
Yes, Billy. He's a United States Marshal and a fine man. They don't make him any finer than he is, Billy.
Yeah, but, Pop, I can't rightly figure this thing. You and Marlowe and Butch and Wicker, you're out of Jim law. So how's come you think so much of this law dog like Lightning Jim?
Listen, kid. My being with Marlowe is a long story. Someday I'll tell you all about it. But do you remember what I've always told you? Ever since I started teaching you to shoot?
Sure, Pop.
Go ahead. Say it for me.
Well, we ain't gonna be with Marlowe forever. You're gonna make enough money to get out of the country.
To South America, that's where. The both of us in South America. Go on, kid.
And then I'm gonna get sent to school like all the other kids.
Gonna learn things. Like your ma wanted you to.
Gonna learn from books. And amount to something.
And what's the most important thing of all, Billy?
As long as I live, I ain't ever gonna shoot again the law.
That's it, Billy. And maybe it won't be so long now.
No, come in here. Hurry up about it.
Come on, Marlowe. Go ahead with your practicing.
All right, Dad.
Oh, Figgers here just got back from Teresa. Says the last chance mine is sending out another shipment of gold bullion.
Yeah, with a stage this afternoon.
That means we ride again.
Yeah, I reckon they're never going to learn no better. We already took 3 shipments away from them and left a couple of their drivers dead.
Yeah, but it ain't what you might call hard work. Leastwise, I don't mind taking off an afternoon for it. Hey, Snow, let's take Billy along with us this time, huh?
Huh?
He's getting so he can handle a gun right smart for a pint-sized hombre.
Oh, I told you Billy ain't riding with us ever. You get that?
You think you can make a gentleman out of him, huh? Son of an owl hooter like you?
What I make out of him is my business. But you'll keep your hands off that boy. I may be low down, but I ain't so low down that I'd send my kid the way I've gone. And if you or anybody else...
Get your hackles down, Snow. Take care of your brat your own way. Ain't no meat off my table. Come on. You ain't too proud to ride with us.
Many and varied were the assignments given to the marshals of the Old West, but danger accompanied all of them. Whenever outlaws preyed upon decent citizens, then came the United States Marshals to do whatever was necessary to stamp out banditry and make of the West a safe place for the building of homes and schools and churches, for the growth of a new nation. The stagecoach carrying bullion from the Long Chance mine has been robbed 3 times, and 2 of its drivers have been killed. So United States Marshal Lightning Jim Whipple and his deputy Whitey Lawson have been sent to take over the job of protecting the stage, and are even now riding as passengers in the big old Concord along the trail between Dorisa and Temple, the nearest railroad stop.
I've been waiting
You feeling bad, Whitey?
No, Lightning, you know I was here singing.
Oh, is that what you was doing?
Well, certainly, what you think?
You see, even your mutt didn't know. I bet he thought we was being attacked by Indians.
The mutt, you call him. Well, I'll have you know this ain't no mutt. This is the best dog in the whole country.
Well, I'm willing to bet he's pretty seasick right now, where this old coach is bouncing along. He'd be lucky if he gets through with all his own bones.
See, Lightning, where you think those bandits are going to rush us?
Well, any place along here now, Whitey.
Yo, and they won't be expecting no trouble. They won't be surprised.
Yeah, I hope so. He usually shoots once ahead of the horses. That's just for a warning. Then, well, Marlowe Burt shoots to kill.
just for the fun of it.
That hydrophobic skunk. I sure hope one of my bullets gets him.
The drivers is going to get down, all right. Then, as soon as Marlowe's killers is close enough, we start shooting, and the drivers drop down on the ground. That way, they must chance they're getting hit. There they are. Get set, Whitey. Joe.
Get your hands up. You're down off that seat.
Stay low, Whitey. Here they come. Now!
Yo, look, Lightning.
Come on, man.
There they go. See, they're getting a V.
Yeah, things wasn't as easy as they hoped for.
I'm quitting. I'm quitting right here now, I am. I ain't going to get in the middle of no gunfight.
Well, driver, this is one of the tough things you're likely to meet up with. You should have known that when you signed up to drive the stage.
Well, maybe so, but I didn't sign up to commit suicide. I'm through.
Well, you're safe enough for the rest of the trip. They won't try it again this time. If I only had Sunday here, they wouldn't get away. Meanwhile, Marlowe, Snow, Wickers, and Butcher are riding swiftly ahead, knowing that they can outdistance the heavily loaded stagecoach.
Waiting for us. Trying to get us in a trap. Snow, you could have got that big buzzard if you tried.
There won't no use in shooting just to be killing, Marlowe. We never could have got that gold this time.
You could have got that big baboon. Somebody is going soft on us.
And that big baboon, as you call him, was Lightning Jim Whipple, the marshal.
What?
Yeah, I recognize him plain.
Hold on there.
Come on, Marlowe. This ain't no safe place to stop. We got just a few more yards till we turn off.
Oh, you trying to tell me that you had a chance to shoot that dang marshal and didn't do it?
Marlowe, that wouldn't have done no good. Killing a marshal ain't going to do us any good at all.
Well, I'll get him. You can bet on that. But first, I don't want nobody working for me that don't play my way. Grab Snow's horse, will you? We can use horses. We can't use soft-hearted hombres like Snow.
There wasn't no need for you doing that, Marlowe. Snow was the right guy.
I play this game my own way. You got anything to say about it, Butcher?
No, you're the boss.
I got the horse all right, Marlowe. Then let's ride. I reckon when he comes along, Lightning Jim can bury Snow for us.
Why, that name Marlowe fits him, too. Marlowe, bad. He's all bad. There's a reward of $5,000 on him. Dead.
Well, I'd be glad to get them for nothing. And then pay a month's salary besides.
Yeah, what you stopping for, driver?
There's Jasper lying out here in the room.
What? Maybe it's one of Marlowe's Jaspers. Maybe we hit one worse than we thought.
See, maybe that's Marlowe himself, by golly. No, this ain't Marlowe, Lightning. But he was with the hold-up men, all right. I recognize this fella.
Yeah, he's been plugged at close range. Look at them powder burns.
Billy.
He ain't dead, Lightning.
Who are you? I can't see. My eyes won't work. Who are you?
I'm Jim Whipple, United States Marshal.
Lightning Jim?
Yeah.
Listen. Marlowe got me. Shot me because I didn't shoot you back at the holdup.
Marlowe shot you? Shot one of his own men?
Yeah. My kid Billy, he's up there with Marlowe. You got to get him for me. He's a good kid.
You mean you got the little boy riding with you?
He ain't never rode with him. I keep him in camp.
No, say you be still, here. You get your bandage up.
No, I'm through. But listen. Take my guns. Find my boy Billy and when you find him,
Yes, mister. What do you want us to do?
give him my guns and tell him.
What you want us to tell him?
Tell him to do like I always said. Never shoot again the law. Tell him I want him to amount to something like his ma wanted.
That's fine, stranger. Where's the hideout? Where can we find you, kid?
Lightning. He's dead.
Yeah. But it didn't tell us where we could find Billy.
Well, then I reckon we got to find Marlowe. Of course, that's where the kid is.
Yeah, but what will Marlowe do with him now, Whitey? Before we get to him, I tell you, Marlowe ain't got a heart. There ain't nothing too bad for him to do.
hit the old can 3 times, Pop. Hey, where's my Pop, Marlowe?
He's dead.
Dead? Well, Pop dead. Oh, you're just funning, Marlowe.
No, I'm telling you true. He's dead.
But how did it happen? Where is he? Did you ride off and leave him?
There weren't nothing we could do, Billy. Was Lightning Jim shot your pa.
Lightning Jim?
Yeah. First he shot your pa out of his saddle, and then he shot him again in the back while he was lying there on the ground.
But Lightning Jim wouldn't shoot him in the back. He wouldn't. My pa was
Ain't
told
that
me...
the way it happened, Butcher? Vickers?
Sure it is, kid. Why'd we want to lie to you?
What do you say, Butcher?
Yes, it's like the boss says, Billy. Just like he says.
Now, I guess you'll believe me when I tell you there ain't a law dog living that'll give you a decent break.
He shot my Pop when Pop didn't have a chance.
I reckon you're big enough to help us get Lightning Jim, ain't you?
My pa always told me not to fight against the law. He told me...
You gonna let your pa get killed? Get shot in the back by a danged law vulture and not do nothing about it? Why, you little wolf, you ought to be beat to your stand.
I'll do it. My pa was wrong. I'm wrong. I'll shoot Lightning Jim myself. I can shoot good.
Sure, kid. You can shoot all right. Most as good as your pa. But you can't shoot as good as Lightning Jim. So I got a plan. Plan to get that, Marshal. Get him good. Now listen careful.
What is Marlowe's plan? Will Billy be drawn into Marlowe's vicious scheme before Lightning Jim and Whitey can find him and deliver his father's dying message? Well, listen for part 2 of the adventures of Lightning Jim, which follows immediately. And now for part 2 of the adventures of Lightning Jim, the outlaw's son. The stage driver was true to his word. He quit as soon as he returned to Dorisa, and no one else has as yet agreed to take on the dangerous job. However, Lightning Jim and Whitey have offered their services, both to drive and protect the stage on its next shipment of gold, and are now in Dorisa using the names of Jim Jennings and Whitey Swenson, waiting for orders. Now they're just pulling up in front of the livery stable.
Oh, boy. Ooh, thunder.
Well, one more scouting expedition and not a trace of Marlowe. None of his men.
Lightning, I always thought that when I got up at 3 on my thinking, that then was the time to get drastical. But see, how can I get drastical when there ain't nothing to get drastical with?
Seems like you just have to hold off for a while on that drastical business, Whitey. Hey, Larry, how about taking care of the horses for us?
Sure thing, Mr. Jennings. It's a downright pleasure to take care of that horse of yours.
Sort of feel the same way, Larry.
Say, I heard as how you two took on the job of driving the stage for the Lost Chance Mine, eh?
That's right.
Ain't you afraid of Marla Birch and his murdering vipers?
I'm sort of anxious to meet up with that dry gulch, sir.
Not me, no, sir. I stick close to home. Hey, but say, you heard anything about a U.S. Marshal named Lightning Jim being sent down to guard the stage for you two?
Lightning Jim? No, can't say as I have. Who's he?
Suffering snakes. You've been keeping your head in the rain barrel all your life. Why, Lightning Jim is the greatest marshal in these here United States. Well, this young'un here's been hanging around all afternoon trying to find Lightning Jim, but he ain't seen him as yet.
Yeah, well, what do you want to find the marshal for, young fella?
Oh, you see, I want to... I'd like to... Well, I mean, I was thinking...
You go right down and spit it out, Button.
Well, I want to be a marshal, too. That's why I come down here looking for Lightning Jim. I heard he was in town, and... Well,
You didn't go and run away from home now, did you, son?
No, I didn't run away from home. I ain't got no home.
You ain't got no home. Well, say, no, a fine-looking boy like you had ought to have a good home.
Yeah. Tell us about yourself, son. What's your name?
It's Billy.
Billy? Now, say now.
Say, maybe we've been looking for you, too.
You've been looking for me? Well, what for?
Why, tell us about yourself, Billy. Where you come from? Who was your pa?
My pa, he died a couple of years ago. And my ma, she just died last week. And I ain't got no more family. And I've been walking for 2 days now. Most 100 miles, I guess, to get here. 'Cause I want to be a marshal like Lightning Jim. And I want to find him quick.
You've been walking for 2 days. Boy, I bet you're hungry and tired, too. Say, you come along with us right now.
Yes, Billy, you come along. We get some food in us and a little sleep. And tomorrow, well, maybe so we can find Lightning Jim for you. Walk on ahead, son.
All right.
See, Lightning, why don't we tell him who we really are?
No, Whitey, not one word. This boy's lying. I can tell that by the way he spoke. Just like he learned it by heart. I don't know why he's lying, but I'm going to find out.
This little pup is the funniest thing I ever saw. Look, she's biting my toes. Look at her.
Oh, that's good.
Her little old teeth don't hardly hurt at all.
No, you mind your manners, puppy. That ain't polite to go around biting people on the toes. That don't make for no sociable feeling.
Now she's going to eat you up. Well, look at the little thing. She's thinking you're right on the nose.
Hold me from me, no.
Now you won't have to wash your face.
Anyway.
Hello,
Lightning. Circus in here. Say, you ain't going to have no nose left at all, Whitey, if that pup keeps on working on it.
Golly, this half off now.
Oh, gee. I wish I could have a pup like that. She sure is some pup, all right.
Ain't you never had a dog, Billy?
No, I never had one.
Well, no, they ain't so awful hard to get. Maybe if I was to put my mind to it, I could find a dog for you.
Yeah, well, right now we're going to find ourselves some breakfast. How'd you sleep, Billy?
Swell. Well, that's the softest bed I ever slept in. And the pillow's got real feathers in it, too.
I'm real glad to hear that, son. You know what we're going to do after breakfast?
No. What are we going to do?
We're going to buy you a pair of boots.
Boots? For me?
Yes, sir. You're going to be a marshal. You got to have boots.
Oh, that's right. The government, they don't want no barefooted marshals. You got to have yourself some boots.
Oh, gee.
Well, how'd it feel, son?
Gosh, they feel swell. And look at him shine.
Yes,
I can most see my face in them.
Oh, you sure they fit you all right?
Swell. I can wiggle my toes on the inside, but they don't rub up and down at all. And 6 pairs of stocks. Just like yours, Whitey. Red with yellow stripes.
Someday Whitey's going to take his boots off in public and folks is going to think war's been declared.
Say, no, there ain't nothing wrong with my socks. They suit my personality, that's right.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah?
You and Whitey come in here a minute.
Sure, Burnett. Be right with you.
Reckon we got another job on our hands?
Yeah, that's about it. You wait here, Billy. We won't be long.
Maybe I better go back to the hotel and take care of the dog for you, Whitey.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Take her out for a walk if you want to.
Gee.
Hey, Kid. Get back in here.
Oh, you with us.
Hurry up, hurry up.
All right.
It ain't exactly safe for me to show my nose around here. It's all set for today, kid. We didn't figure on it being this soon, but they're sending out another load of bullion this afternoon.
This afternoon?
Yeah.
Then Mr. Jennings and Wiley will be going along. They drive the stagecoach. I wouldn't want nothing to happen to them. They're swell.
Jennings? You mean that big galoot you was just talking to?
Yeah. The little one's Whitey. And he's got a pup, and they bought me new boots and...
Jennings, eh? Why, they've been stringing you for a fool, kid. That big guy is Lightning Jim himself, and the little guy is his sweet deputy, Whitey Larson.
No, that can't be, but they're both swell. Jenny's bought boots for me, and Whitey bought the socks, and...
You act plumb loco, kid. That big guy is Lightning Jim, and the other one's his deputy. Heh, they've been fooling you.
Then they lied to me. They said they was just stagecoach drivers, and...
Yeah, you can't never trust no law badgers. Don't you know that?
They lied to me. And the big one shot my pop. And I ate with him. And I slept with him. And I let him buy me boots. I'll throw these boots in the mud, in the stocks. I won't have them, I tell you. I won't have them.
Listen and stop that yelping. Here. Here's a gun. Take it and stick it inside your shirt. Now, you know what to do?
Yeah.
As soon as the stagecoach is loaded, you sneak inside and don't let nobody see you. You won't be looking for no stowaways, and you can get inside easy. Then, when the trouble starts...
Then I come out and shoot him.
Yeah.
They don't seem like the kind of guys that would shoot my pop in the back.
Maybe you're too much of a sissy for this job.
I ain't neither. I'll do it all right. You bet your life I'll do it.
Well, Lightning, I wonder where Billy went to. He wished I couldn't find him no place when we was getting ready to leave. I want to tell the little fella goodbye.
Most like he's parading around in his new boots, Whitey. You know, he's a plumb nice kid, even if he did tell us a whopper last night.
Say, how did you know that he was fibbing to us?
Oh, I can read faces pretty good. He was just telling a story he made up. There wasn't a word of truth in it.
Well, the poor little feller, he ain't never had nothing in all his life. You know, Lightning, I was thinking, I make enough money to take care of a little button like him. I don't hardly spend none of my money, you know that.
I know how you feel, old-timer. Between us, we can make up his living expenses all right. And the other Billy, too, if we ever find a poor little shaved-tail.
Two Billy. One for you and one for me. See, that might be lots of fun.
Yeah. Well, boy.
See, what you stopping out here for?
I want you to get on the inside, Whitey.
Me and no, sir, I ain't going to do that, Lightning. That way you are taking all the chances. I ain't going to do it.
Now, listen, Whitey, we got a job to do protecting this shipment of gold. We got to use our heads. As long as you're inside, you got a better chance to defend both of us.
Well, that can be you, yes, as well.
Now, listen, go on, Whitey. These is orders. You get on the inside.
Well, all right. But I can handle these horses just as well as you can, Lightning. Billy! See, what are you doing on the stagecoach here?
What? Billy, what's he doing?
After he got loaded up. He didn't see me at all.
But, Billy, you shouldn't have done
Is it true that you're Lightning Jim, the marshal? Did you lie to me last night?
Why, yes, I am Lightning
Then
Jim.
take
What's
that dirty backbite.
You drop in, you!
Arrested infant. No, look what you invented on. You shot Lightning. Give me that gun.
I hope I killed him. I hope I killed him dead.
Well, you didn't, son. You only got me in the shoulder.
Listen now before I shake your teeth loose. You tell me what you shot Lightning for. Who put you up to this?
He shot my pop. He shot him off his horse, and then he shot him in the back when he was laying on the ground. Mallow told me so.
Mallow? You mean that your pop...
Billy, did your pa ride with Marlowe, and did he get killed 3 days ago?
Yes, and you shot him. You shot him in the back.
No, he didn't, Billy. No, you got to believe us. We fought the foreman off. They got away, and then later we found your pa. Someone shot him close up.
Billy, your pa told us that Marlowe had shot him. Shot him because he wouldn't kill me, just to be killing. And he gave me his gun to give to you, son. That is, if we could find you.
His gun?
Yeah.
My pop's gun?
Yeah, and he told us to tell you never to fight against the law.
That's what he always told me. Always. I knew you was both all right. You was swell to me, but Mallow said, he told me, he made me promise it.
No, never mind, son. It's just a misunderstanding, that's all. Now, don't cry. Whitey, help me get this shoulder tied up.
All right, then. See, maybe we better go back.
Go back? No, I can use the other hand, all right, and you got 2 hands, ain't you?
Yeah, and I can shoot. Shoot good as a grown man. Oh, please. Please let me fight with you. For my pop's sake.
No, Billy. You're too young to stain your hands with blood, even if it did kill you, Paul. You get down on the bottom of the coach and stay there. Now, you understand?
All right.
I'll drive from here on, Lightning. You get inside the coach with Billy.
Don't worry. My shoulder will be all right.
Oh, now listen. You get inside there before I bust you one. For once by Yumpen Yimini, I'm the boss here.
All right, Whitey, all right. If we're held up, Whitey, put up your hands and wait for a cue from me. You're taken by surprise.
So I get you, Lightning. Get up, boy. Get up there.
Now, Billy, I want you to obey me. If we're stopped, I want you to keep low.
Well, there they are, by golly.
Keep down, Billy.
Grab your horn leg. Let it drop.
All right. All right. Pull there. Pull, boy. Pull.
Don't try no funny business, Swede.
Yes, one move, he has 6 guns, and we'll drill you.
Come on out with your hands up, Marshal. We know you're inside.
Yeah, come on out. Get what's coming to you.
Well, here I am, Marlowe. You got the drop on. Billy, stay back.
I won't. Let me go. Let me go.
Good work, kid. Well, you didn't get a chance to drill him on the road, huh? Well, now's your chance, kid.
Yeah. Now's my chance. My chance to give the skunk what murdered my pop what's coming to him.
Give it on, kid.
You bet I will.
Billy, don't.
That's how you shot my pop, Mally, you dirty, sneaking, murdering sidewinder.
You're all three done for, Lightning.
I killed him, Lightning. I killed Mallow.
Yes, Billy, yes. We could have stopped you. But listen, son, if you hadn't killed Marlowe, we would. And there's reward money enough on Marlowe to give you a good education. You're going to take that money and get a chance in life.
Yeah. Yeah, just like Pop wanted. And I'm going to amount to something. When I grow up, I'm going to be just like you and Whitey.
And so ends another thrilling chapter in the lives of Lightning Jim Whipple and Whitey Larson, courageous U.S. Marshals of the Old West.
Come along, folks, and listen to the tale of Hawk Larrabee on the Western Trail. Comatai, yippee-yippee-I, yippee-I. Comatai, yippee-yippee-I.
Larrabee's the name. Hawk Larrabee.
He's rode every trail across the lone prairie, as sure as his name's Hawk Larrabee. Comatai, yippee-yippee-I, yippee-I. Comatai, yippee-yippee-I.
Yes, it's Hawk Larrabee, starring Barton Yarborough with his exciting stories of the timeless West. Stories of men and women, famous and infamous, who loved and hated, lived and died in the colorful drama of the American West. Stories chronicled for you by Hawk Larrabee.
Yep, I'm Hawk Larrabee. A lot of folks claim that I was a fiddlefoot, that I couldn't stay put in one place. And it wasn't long before I started to believe in them myself, because I left my old stamping grounds at Sundown Wells and hit the trail. First stop, the gold camp at Mulberry Creek. There wasn't no mulberries that I could see, and the only creek was a ditch of dirty water, full of miners, working rock or a pan, trying to get a trace of that yellow stuff called gold. The new part of town was made of tar paper shanties and tents. But there were some pretty fair buildings along the main street, and one of these was the Collins Mercantile, a typical Western general store. I went inside to buy me a can of saddle soap, and there was the prettiest gal I ever set my eyes on behind the counter. And I seen something else. A big, red-faced hombre waving his finger right under her nose and talking loud and mad.
Mary Collins, I'm only trying to help you. Can't you see that?
No. You want them to hang Lucius. And you want to run me out of business.
That beau of yours is guilty, and he ought to swing. But I'm making an offer for this store. My final offer.
Get out, I said. Morgan Bryce.
Bryce, The lady asked you to leave.
Where'd you come from?
Well, never mind that.
Oh, please, stranger, don't cause any more trouble.
The name is Hawk Larrabee, ma'am. Looks to me like Bryce here's the one that's stirring up trouble, not me.
What's your cut in this deal, Larrabee?
Well, sir, I'm just a fella from Texas that don't like seeing a darn saddle bum yelling at a pretty girl.
Saddle bum? You call me a saddle bum? Well, I've got the biggest store in this town.
Huh. You mean the one in the big tent down the street? So you're the fella that's giving stuff away, hmm? Is that how come ain't no customers here in Miss Verity's store?
Of course. How can I compete with his ridiculous prices? But that's not important.
Larrabee, I'm trying to make friends among the miners. Nothing else. Now, Mulberry Creek has a future. I intend being part of that future.
Well, there's one sure thing. You ain't making no friends in here.
I don't intend to.
Please, both of you.
Verity, today's the trial. Now, I could put in a good word for Lucius, but I sure won't feel inclined to now.
But he isn't guilty.
No? Well, I'll tell you what I'm beginning to suspect, Miss Verity Collins.
What?
Maybe you and that Lucius Budlong was both in on killing your Uncle Fred.
That's a lie. How can you say that?
Fred Collins didn't want you marrying Lucius. Him and Lucius quarreled. So the pair of you figured to get him out of the way. Then you'd both have the store.
I don't want this store. Lucius doesn't want it. He's a lawyer, not a clerk.
Lawyer? What lawing did he ever do?
Well, he hasn't had a chance in this town, that's all.
Well, you had your chance. But now I'm going to see that everybody hears my opinion of this killing.
You wouldn't.
Or wouldn't I?
Bryce, you know something? I've been mighty darn patient for you. But now you're going out that door, walking or flying, just suit yourself.
Well, you can't talk like that.
My rear. Don't never make a mistake of pulling that Pee Wee 41 on me again. I'm toting a 45 like most everybody else, and it'll put a hole in you big enough for your head.
Why, you...
I'll just unload this pistol of yours. There. Now I don't reckon you shoot me in the back. Get to moving, Bryce.
I'll see you later, Hawk Larrabee.
I'm afraid you've made a dangerous enemy.
Oh, don't pay no attention to him. Lots of folks don't like me. How long has he been in town, anyhow?
About a month. Right after the strike.
He sure does aim to take over his store.
Bryce tried to buy out my Uncle Fred.
He wouldn't sell, is that it?
My Uncle Fred only cared for one thing in life. This store.
And he winds up dead.
Yes. Everybody in town thinks Lucius did it.
Well, if him and your uncle quarreled like Bryce said...
Lucius couldn't do such a thing. Uncle said some nasty things to him, yes, but even so, Lucius wouldn't wait till I was upstairs in my room, then knock on the door and shoot Uncle when he came to see who was there.
Oh, that's how it was, huh? Well, when did it happen?
Last week.
And the trial is today?
Yeah. And they'll hang him. I've been trying to help, but no one will listen to me.
Well, folks around here don't like your Lucius, huh?
No.
Well, why?
I don't know. Because he's different from them, I guess.
Because he's got his nose in a law book most of the time?
Yeah, that's partly it.
Well, I come in for a can of saddle soap.
Should have got it at Bryce's. He's selling it for $25. Our price is $3.
$3?
Well, since the gold strike, our freighting costs have gone up 10 times, and even then there is little profit.
No, I understand.
Here's your saddle soap, Mr. Larrabee.
Larrabee. It's Hawk to my friend.
All right, Hawk.
Well, adios, Miss Verity.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, by the way,
Yes?
whereabouts they got Lucius pinned up at?
At the jail, 2 blocks down. You can't miss it.
I don't reckon I will.
Good luck. Oh, please have good luck.
That's what comes of being fiddle-footed. You're always bumping into trouble. But I guess I'm kind of soft when there's a gal as pretty as that Verity Collins around. It could be that her Lucius did murder Uncle Fred Collins, but it wouldn't hurt none to see the number anyhow. The jail office is closed, but I heard somebody hammering and sawing in the lot out back. A minute later, I was introducing myself to a gent by the name of Somber Jones, the town marshal. Well, after we shook hands, I asked him what he was building.
Why, that's a new scaffold.
Oh. You mean there's gonna be a hanging?
Reckon so.
Lucius?
Yep. He'd been better off if he'd never been born.
Oh, yeah.
Why, I reckon the whole world would be better off if no humans was on it. The animals don't kill unless they're hungry, but us humans, we go around shooting folks. Well, you take Lucius.
Oh, you just a town marshal, Somber Jones. You ain't no jury.
Never claimed to be.
You figured Lucius is guilty?
I ain't said so, Larrabee.
Then what you building this scaffold for?
Scaffold's gonna be permanent this time. Mulberry Creek is booming, and we'll be needing it regular.
I'm asking you again. Do you figure Lucius is guilty?
I'm marshal of this sinful town. Ain't my place to say.
Well, I reckon that's my answer. You don't think Lucius killed Fred Collins at all, do you?
Even so, you ain't gonna talk me into turning him loose.
Suppose a mob tries to bust into the jail.
Well, I got me a sawed-off shotgun to take care of that. If anybody tries it.
And this trial is just going to be a formality, then.
Never said it wasn't.
Any 12 men in this town will vote him guilty without taking time to blow their suds off with a darn beer.
Sometimes sure is trying. This job of upholding the dignity of the law. Verity ought to marry Lucius and live happily ever after. Like they do in books.
Well, then, why don't we see that she does?
Oh, no. That ain't in the cards. That ox-brain uncle of hers was again it. He got killed. Shows it wasn't meant to happen. Them getting married, I mean.
What time is the trial?
After sundown. Boys won't leave the diggings till dark. They want to be in on the fun.
Fun? Hanging a man is fun?
Well, that's their idea, not mine.
And you're going to let them string up a man that might be innocent?
Maybe he ain't innocent.
You practically said he was.
Well, doggone it, I never have thought he put a bullet in Fred Collins.
Well, then who did?
Ken Sabe. Collins was an ornery old buzzard. Treated Verity pretty bad. Lots of folks would have been glad to shoot him.
Well, why'd the town so short Lucius done it then?
He says he was studying them law books in his shack out at the edge of town when Collins was shot.
But he can't prove it, huh?
No, he can't.
And folks around here don't exactly hanker for Lucius.
Well, he's kind of odd-like. Folks thought Verity'd marry some handsome gent, cowman.
Well, what's the matter with Lucius?
Nothing, except he's got brains.
And brains ain't popular in Mulberry Creek.
Oh, it ain't that so much, but he's a little runt and skinny like he'd bust in two in a high wind.
A lawyer ought to be able to get business in a town like Mulberry Creek.
Well, folks won't give him a chance.
No, they want to put a rope around his neck instead.
You're making me feel almighty uncomfortable. After all, I only carry out the law.
From the way it looks, a feller can get justice about anywhere but Mulberry Creek. I got a good notion.
Forget it. As town marshal, I can make any man in this town give up his gun.
Why, they ain't nobody. Nobody at all big enough to take my gun.
Well, now, don't look at me that way. I never said you was the one I was thinking about.
Well, you come pretty darn close.
I'm just giving you some advice, son. I like you. But I'll shoot the buttons off in your shirt if you try any shenanigans with me. Remember that.
Well, I reckon we understand each other, Somber Jones.
Reckon we do, Larrabee.
Well, I come over here to see Lucius. How about it?
I won't trust you inside the jail, Hawk. But there's his cell window yonder.
Well, then that'll have to do.
And don't try slipping him a hacksaw blade and a bar of soap.
Well, I might give him a blade, but why the soap?
Rubbing soap on a hacksaw blade deadens the sound.
How you know that?
I've sawed my way out a time or two. But it led to nothing but misery. And I'm seeing that it ain't gonna happen here. Not while I'm town marshal.
I seen I wasn't gonna get no place with Somber Jones. I walked over to the jail, looked through the barred window and seen Lucius sitting on the edge of a bunk, staring calmly up at me out of a pair of steel-rimmed spectacles.
Hello.
Howdy. I'm Hawk Larrabee.
I'm, Lucius Budlong.
Yeah, I know.
You wanted to see me?
How in thunder can you just sit there so darn calm and collected?
If one allows oneself to become upset, well, one can't think clearly.
Yourself, myself, oneself. Don't go pulling that fancy talk on me, son. Can't you hear them hammers and them saws out back?
I've grown accustomed to the sound by now.
You know what it means?
Of course, they're building a gallows to hang me. I'll have to admit I'm upset, though I try not to show it.
You get upset, all right, when you're standing over the trap.
I doubt if that will happen. You see, I'm a lawyer.
Oh, you're going to need more than law to get you out of this mess, Lucius.
I'm innocent, Larrabee. I have faith in our courts.
Well, so have I, usually. But this is Mulberry Creek. The boys is pouring into town from all points of the compass. They're after gold, and they ain't particular about seeing that you get a square deal.
I'll tell the truth at the trial. You see, I was in my cabin at the edge of town when Fred Collins was murdered.
That's what I heard. But, if you didn't kill him, then who did?
Well, it was someone who knew Fred Collins. Someone who knew him well enough to get him to open his door at night.
Mm-hmm. Well, how about, Morgan Bryce? He sure is bent on putting a rope around your neck.
Well, that's just a simple matter of jealousy.
Oh, he don't like it because Verity's in love with you.
Well, he asked her to marry him.
Mm-hmm. If Bryce heard about the fight you and Fred Collins had over Verity, why, then he could shoot the old man and have a good excuse to frame you.
I do know that Bryce wanted the store.
And the old man refused to sell it to him. Well, that gives Bryce a double-barrel reason for getting rid of it.
Lots of people would like the store. There's a lot of fine stock of merchandise. Now, if I can only just bring all this out of the trial...
Lucius, you ain't got none too much time. They'll be trying you right after sundown. And if you ain't swinging a half hour later, then my name ain't Hawk Larrabee.
You're about as mournful as Somber Jones.
Oh, I hope I don't never get that mournful.
Just a mournful world, Hawk Larrabee.
But, Somber Jones, what you doing sneaking up like that?
Just thought I'd better come over and see if you'd pulled out any window bars or chewed a hole in the wall.
Well, I ain't, but I sure do feel like it.
It's sure funny how a pretty gal like Verity can get a man so all-fired worked up that he'll defy law and order to help her out.
They ain't nobody defied no law and order.
Well,
Not yet. Lucius, keep your chin up.
Thanks, Hawk Larrabee.
In spite of Somber Jones, the world ain't such a bad place.
I'll see you at the trial.
Come on, Somber.
What you got under your hat? Ideas?
Maybe.
I know what you're thinking.
Do you?
You're wondering how Verity can fall in love with a fella like that there Lucius.
If she likes him, that's good enough for me.
Well, now, don't take off my poor old gray head. I don't hold with romancing myself.
Well, never mind romance. If we don't start to using the spurs, that kid's going to get strung up.
You say we, including me in your plans?
Yeah. You was probably born with your back bolted to world, but maybe you're honest.
Reasonable so, I guess.
I got me an idea. Is there any chance of getting one of them slugs that killed Fred Collins?
Probably they was buried with him.
The doc might have one.
He might at that.
Wouldn't be no harm in seeing it.
Well, sure, if you'll ease up on the reins and tell me why you want that bullet.
Oh, just an idea. It's been buzzing around in my head.
Hawk, you sound like you've been chewing local weed.
I know what I'm doing. This has got to work. Now, how about it?
Well, I'll do my part as long as it's legal. I'm still wearing a badge, you know.
Yeah. And Somber.
Yeah?
Spread it around town that you looking for the slug that killed the old man.
Yeah.
Act kind of mysterious about it.
Hawk, I'm taking a chance trusting you, you know.
I got me a hunch Verity and Lucius is going to get married. On schedule, if I'm lucky.
Doggone it. You almost make me feel chip.
Well, you'll get over that before the night's through.
I hope so. Sure again my principles. Hasta la vista, Hawk Larrabee.
It got dark early in Mulberry Creek, and when the sun went down, I was just going into Morgan Bryce's tent where he had his store at. A big kerosene lamp hanging from a ridgepole had just been lit. I was looking around when a clerk come up to me and says,
Howdy, stranger. We got picks, shovels, grub, anything you need for mining.
What brand of shovels you got?
Acme, the best.
Oh, I don't know. I like a Regent. Maybe better.
Well, we ain't got Regent.
I heard they carry 'em at the Collins Mercantile.
You don't want to trade there, stranger.
Well, why don't I?
Well, prices are high.
How come they ain't high here?
Mr. Bryce is aiming to give folks a good start.
Good start.
Yeah, he believes you'll be buying from him a long time.
And then he'll raise prices?
Well, sure, naturally.
Yeah, as soon as he runs Verity Collins out of business and ain't no more competition.
What gives you that idea?
Oh, just something that I heard. I'm a stranger here myself.
You better watch what you go saying about Morgan Bryce. He's kingpin around here.
Oh, well, I sure don't aim to slander no kingpin.
Now, what about selling you a shovel?
Tomorrow, maybe. I want to get on over and see him string up that Lucius fella.
I'll be there, too, stranger.
I guess there ain't much chance of finding him not guilty, is it?
Nope.
I heard the town marshal was snooping around looking for a bullet or something.
Yep, that's what they tell me. It won't do him no good, though.
Well, he must figure that there bullet's mighty important. Maybe he can find out who done the killing.
Somber Jones had better save his time. We're taking care of that Lucius with or without a trial. He killed Fred Collins, and everybody knows it.
Yeah. Well, I got to be moving along.
Don't forget that shovel tomorrow.
It began to look like my little scheme had blowed up right in my face. There wasn't going to be time enough to work out all the details because Lucius was due for a hanging any way you looked at it. Well, I was just heading for the door when I seen Morgan Bryce blocking my way and looking as mad as a bronco wearing his first saddle.
Hold it, Larrabee.
What you want, Bryce?
I heard you've been stirring up Somber Jones.
What give you that idea?
Adding 2 and 2.
And, what kind of an answer did you get?
It adds up to you getting out of town. Pronto.
And, if I don't figure I want to go?
Then you might stay here, permanently, in a pine box.
That's mighty big talk from a gent who just got his wrist slapped a while ago for pulling a gun.
You were lucky that time, Larrabee. Gun sight caught in my holster when I drew. Otherwise, you'd be dead.
Well, I ain't dead. I'm pretty much alive.
I'm just telling you once. Drift. Hit the trail.
Bryce, that hombre was making talk about you.
Well, what'd he say, Joe?
He said you was trying to run Verity Collins out of business.
Fellas, let's give this Hawk Larrabee something else to think about.
What do you mean, Bryce?
Boys, let's show Larrabee he can't butt in here at Mulberry Creek. Some of you heat up a barrel of tar and get some chicken feathers. After we take care of the hanging and see it's done proper, we'll start on Larrabee.
I ain't going to wear no tar and feathers for an overcoat, Bryce. Not now.
No, now, look out, Bryce. He's got a... The light. He shut out the light.
Which way to go?
That way.
Blasted dark and can't see a thing. Somebody get him!
I got under that tent wall like I was riding the tail of a Texas Norther. Before anybody could get a lantern lit, I was heading down the alley where I had my white horse, Blanco, tied to a fence. I piled into the saddle and lit out for the jailhouse. In a minute, I could see Somber Jones standing there in front.
What's the shooting about?
Never mind that, Somber.
Hey, what you doing with that gun?
Inside the jail, quick.
All right. What you aiming to do, Hawk?
I'm going to take Lucius out of here.
I done my part, and this is how you pay me off. Doc Ramsey did have 2 bullets. Here, look at them.
Yeah, it's just what I figured.
Figured what?
Never mind. Get that cell open.
Keep your britches on. Keep your britches on.
How come you ain't putting up a fuss, Sommer? Ain't I defying the law?
Nope. I done resign.
Resign?
Yeah. I couldn't let a prisoner escape if I was wearing a badge, could I?
Well, no.
No, so I'm what you call a private citizen now. There's my resignation, all made out and stuck in a pigeonhole of that desk there.
Well, I reckon I was wrong about you.
Come on out, Lucius. You're free.
Free? I'm free? Why, Hawk Larrabee, what does this mean?
It means you getting out of town, son. Pronto.
What about Verity?
She can join you later. Who's that out there, Somber?
It's Verity.
Hawk, Morgan Bryce has stirred up a lynching mob. They're coming here and they're... Oh, Lucius.
Verity.
They can't take you, Lucius.
I can see him through the window, Hawk. Too late to run for it. Hawk, give me a gun. This is my fight.
Don't go being a hero now, Lucius. Stay here with Verity. You too, Somber.
Looks like you've sort of taken over, Hawk.
Yeah, it does, don't it? Now give me that sawed-off shotgun you was bragging about this afternoon.
There you are.
Now, cover me from the window, Somber.
I'll be right with him, Hawk.
Good. Well, here goes.
Oh, Larrabee!
That's right, Bryce. That's far enough, boy.
What's the meaning of that?
I got a sawed-off shotgun. And buckshot ain't particular who and where it hits. If any of you boys feel lucky, why, just start to coming.
Let's go. Come on.
Who's first? Yeah. Take a look at these two slugs I'm tossing over, boys. It's light enough from the jail window.
Well, what about them?
Are they from a 45?
It looks like a 41 to me. Where'd you get them at?
Them is the slugs that come out of Fred Collins' body. Doc Ramsey had 'em.
What are you trying to prove, Larrabee?
That you killed Fred Collins, Bryce. You better be careful, Bryce. You're wearing a strange gun tonight. Might slow down your draw.
A man's got a right to own more than one gun, Larrabee.
I reckon so. But you was mighty careful to take off that 41 you was wearing this afternoon when me and you tangled at the Collins store.
No law against shedding a gun?
Maybe you was worried that Somber Jones would find out that Collins was shot with a 41.
I'm not the only man with a 41.
But you may be the only one in town with a 41 who had reason for shooting Collins.
What? That still don't prove nothing.
All right, then. Listen at this. Listen to me. I dug up a couple of witnesses.
Witnesses?
Yeah.
What?
2 men.
Who are they? Yeah.
Boys, you want to hear what they said?
Right. Sure. Don't listen to him. It's a trick.
Trick or not, I want to hear what he's got to say.
That's right. All right, Bryce. These 2 witnesses say that when Fred Collins come to the door the night he was killed, just before he was shot, he called out your name.
He did not.
If you wasn't there, how do you know he didn't call out your name?
What about that, Bryce?
Don't believe him, boys.
Hold it, Bryce. Hold it, or I'll let you have both barrels.
Don't shoot, Larrabee.
Get him, boys.
We got him, Larrabee, and we're gonna keep him.
It's funny how you can bluff a fella sometime. That's the trouble with killing him, man. You can't never be sure somebody didn't see you do it. Well, later, Somber Jones turned to Lucius and said...
I figure now you get all the law and you can take care of here in Mulberry Creek.
And I'm going to let Joe run the store for me. Uncle Fred would have liked that.
Oh, sure. You got to be a lawyer's wife, honey.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that folks here in town will like me.
Why, of course they will. And, Lucius, if you ever get the feeling you're kind of runted like, well, just remember this. With a 45 in your hands, you're 6 foot tall, and you're broad enough to spit in the devil's own eye.
Is that right? Huh?
Here, take this gun. You see what I mean?
You know, Huck, I feel taller already.
And someday, Lucius, if me and Hawk ever get into trouble, which I expect we will, I'd sure get you to lawyer for us in court.
It was about midnight when I rode out of Mulberry Creek, but I wasn't by myself. Somber Jones was riding at my side.
Where are we heading, Hawk?
Over San Marcos way.
What's over there?
I just found out that there's a sheep and cattle war brewing.
Mind if I ride along? Though we probably both get shot up or lynched.
I'll take a chance.
Hawk, take a look back yonder. You see, you can see the scaffold out behind the jail, looking kind of ghostly in the moonlight.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure glad things turned out like they did with Bryce, I mean.
Well, how's that?
Sure been a blight on my record as Marshal of Mulberry Creek if I had the dang thing built and then it wasn't used.
Get up.
He gained more renown as he rode the trail from town to town. Comatai, yippee, 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 Comatai, yippee, yippee. He woke one morning on the western trail, a rope in his hand and a cow by the tail. Comatai, yippee, 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 Comatai, yippee, yippee.
And now Hawk will tell you about next week's story.
Well, looked like I'd picked up a new sidekick. Somber Jones was as mournful a character as I ever saw. And it wasn't long before I figured he had reason to be. Trouble and Somber Jones seemed to go together, just like pork and beans. Well, anyhow, we sure did walk into a pack of trouble when we got down San Marcos way. While we were... But I'll tell you all about that next week, when I come riding your way. Adios.
Until next week, that's the end of the tale of Hawk Larrabee on the Western Trail. Comatai, yippee, 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 Comatai, yippee, yippee. He's up in the morning before daylight. Before he sleeps, the moon shines bright. Comatai, yippee, 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 Comatai, yippee, yippee.
This is Jack McCoy saying tune in again next week at this very same time when Hawk Larrabee finds himself in the middle of an historic range war. Hawk Larrabee, starring Barton Yarborough, is written by Dean Owen, produced by William N. Robeson, and directed by Richard Sandville. For CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Here they come. They're riding fast and they're riding hard. Time for excitement and adventure in the modern West. With Bobby Benson and the B-Bar-B Riders. Today's thrilling adventure, Den of Thieves.
Hey, Lucas, can't you get that blasted radio working? The boss ought to be on any second.
I'm doing my best. Keep your shirt on.
The scene, Riders, is one of the myriad caves that dot the Black Hills of South Dakota. Over a dozen men are gathered about a small radio set. Rough, unshaven men with the beady eyes and wry expressions of the professional criminal. It would be desperately hard to find a more vicious gang anywhere than this one. Suddenly, the face of every man present changes to an expression of fear.
Okay, that's him, boys. Now, quiet.
This is the Star. Here are my orders. As you know, Brad and Jocko have been recaptured by the meddling Tex Mason. They have been returned to jail. Your job, to see that they are not made to talk. You will proceed at once with Plan B and follow it to the letter. It should take care of Mason as well as Jocko and Brad. I shall contact you at this time tomorrow. This is the Star. Obey.
Yes, Riders, there are plans in the wind that are due to have a big effect on our friends from the B-Bar-B. But as far as they're concerned, having recaptured Brad and Jocko, our friends have dropped the mystery of the Star. And instead, with the cooperation of the Deadwood merchants, they've been busy sightseeing, visiting the many tourist attractions of the Black Hills. That is, they were until...
That's why I've come to see you, Mason. I've got to ask your help in ending this Stars mob for once and all.
Well, shouldn't be any trouble with that. Once Brad and Jocko talk, they must know plenty.
Well, they do, Mason. Only they won't tell us what they know.
Well, shucks, ain't that the sheriff's job?
It is, Windy, and he's tried. But you see, Brad and Jocko won't talk to the sheriff because they're more afraid of what the Star will do than they are of him.
Well, the Star can't reach him when they're in jail.
Now, don't be too sure of that, Mason. He's done tougher things before.
Yeah,
But whether he can or not, they think he can. They believe that if they talk, the Star will get them. And so they won't talk.
What makes you so sure they'll talk to us?
I'm not sure, Mason, but I figure it's worth a try. You see, as much as they're scared of the Star, I think they're even more scared of you.
Greg, we don't like meddling in other people's affairs. We're strangers in Deadwood.
But we all want your help, Mason. We need it. This Star and his gang has been terrorizing the district too long. We need your help to put an end to it. Please, Mason.
All right, Greg. You get an okay from the sheriff for us to visit them in their cell. I'll question them.
Hey, Mason.
You're sure you've no objection to our questioning them, Sheriff?
Shucks, no. You and the boy here can get him to talk. I'd be mighty indebted. Oh, just one thing. Neither you or the boy got guns on you, have you?
What? Don't know, Sheriff. I left mine at our camp.
I don't have any.
Well, good. I just wanted to check. All righty, then. You can go in and question them. You sure you don't want me to stick around in case they act up? They're plenty tough.
I can handle them, Sheriff.
All right, then. Just yell when you want out, and I'll be in the office.
Right, Sheriff. Come on, son. Brad, Jocko, I want to talk to you. Have some questions to ask.
Uh-oh. Don't think it's going to work, Tex. Look at them standing there by the window. Got their backs to us.
Well, look, you could at least turn around and face me. I just want to ask you to tell us who the Star...
Tex, look out!
Brad, Jocko, Doc!
Tex, come back! Get out!
No need to, son. Whoever shot through the window's gone. His work is done.
You mean Brad and Jocko? Are they...
They're dead, son. Both of them shot down without a chance.
Golly, why doesn't the sheriff come? He must have heard the shots. We've got to get after the killer or we'll never catch him.
The killer left one clue, at least. He tossed his gun in here before he left it.
Tex, what is it? What?
Hey, what's going on in there? I heard shots.
Sheriff, hurry, let us out of here. Jocko and Brad were murdered.
Murdered? By who?
We don't know, but we've got his gun, haven't we, Tex? Tex, what's wrong?
Nothing much, son. Except that this gun, the murder gun, is mine.
Hey, now, what's this? The gun used to murder Jocko and Brad is actually Tex Mason's own gun? Doesn't make sense. And yet, well, I wonder just how the sheriff will react when he learns this. Sounds to me like Tex is really in a spot. Well, I know one thing for sure. You'll want to be listening when we continue our unusual adventure in just a few short moments. Now hear a Mutual Minute. Mutual presents programs that bring a world of daring action to colorful life. The cowboy kid, Bobby Benson, comes a-riding every Monday at 5 o'clock, like right now. And Bobby and his pals bring Western songs and stories every Wednesday and Friday at 5 on Songs of the B-Bar-B. While every Tuesday and Thursday at 5, it's time for Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. While Bill Hickok, real-life Western Marshal, portrayed by screen star Guy Madison, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30. And on Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30, Sky King flies to the defense of our country's secret resources. Just stay tuned to Mutual every weekday afternoon for Bobby Benson, Sergeant Preston of the Yukon, Wild Bill Hickok, and Sky King, all to be heard over most of these great Mutual stations. But now let's get back to the B-Bobby Riders for more of today's very unusual adventure, Den of Thieves. Yes, Riders, Tex Mason and Bobby Benson are truly in a bad spot right now. They're locked in the jail cell where they came to question the outlaws, Brad and Jocko. The same cell where the outlaws were murdered just a moment ago, right before their eyes. But now the sheriff is about to enter as Tex stands holding the murder weapon that was tossed through the window. Tex's own gun.
That blast it. There's the key to this blame lock. Don't you two touch nothing.
We won't, Sheriff.
Tex, I don't get it. How could it be your gun? You left it at the camp.
That's just it, son. I left it and we all came here. Somebody must have stolen it when we left. Someone wants to frame me.
Oh, my gosh, I get it. The sheriff finds it's your gun. You think you did it.
This is either gun. Not till I have a chance to catch the real killer. All right, careful now, son. Here he comes.
That blasted lock never can find the right key when they need it. All right, now just keep hold of you. No need to get flustered, no need at all. Oh, me, why did a thing like this have to happen to me? You sure they're dead, Mason?
Look for yourself, Sheriff. Someone fired in through the window at them.
Yeah.
Now, if you look after the body, Sheriff, we'll get after the killer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, you don't, Mason. You come back here.
Yeah, but Sheriff...
Yeah, come back, I say. You ain't getting out of my sight. You're material witnesses to this here crime, and I...
Sheriff, if we don't go, the killer will get away.
Now, don't you go worrying none about the killer. Hey, hold on. Sticking out of your shirt there, Mason. Ain't that a gun?
Uh-oh.
You said you wasn't armed when you come in here. So how come it...
Sheriff! Tex, look out! At the window! It's the sheriff again!
The killer! Oh, he's back. Well, Hey, nobody at that window. Well, what are you talking about?
What thinking, son?
Hey, come back here, you two. Hey, don't do that. Hey, blast you, open that door, Mason.
Sorry to have to do this, Sheriff, but I'll be back just as soon as I have a real killer to fill this cell.
This way, Daniel.
You're sure you're on the right trail, compadre?
Sure, it's plenty easy to follow so far.
Well, don't lose it, whatever you do. This is one time we can't afford to.
Oh, God, Tex, are you sure you're doing right by going off like this? It's going to make the sheriff sure you done it.
Yeah, I know that, Wendy, but it's a chance I'll have to take. If I waited to try to explain things, the killer's trail would be gone.
Yeah, but what if we lose the trail anyhow?
Golly, don't even suggest it, Wendy.
Yeah, but if we do...
If we do, Wendy, I'll just have to go back and turn myself in and pray that the sheriff believes my story.
Then, Tex, I got this one thing to say. Harka! Please don't lose this trail.
Rocky! Well, how'd you make out?
Went like a charm, just like every other plan the boss makes.
You got Jocko?
Got them. They got themselves.
What do you mean?
Oh, it was beautiful. You see, I climbed up into the tree outside the cell window, just like the boss said. Only Mason wasn't there yet.
So?
So, I looks in to see, only Brad, he spots me. But the jerk, he thinks I'm there to help him escape.
Hey, what?
Yeah, it's the truth. So I goes along with it, see? And I tells him I got a plan. I tells him to stand just in front of the window when Mason comes in. And I tell him not to turn around.
And they did it?
Yeah, stood there like setting ducks. And when Mason comes in, I pops them both, tosses the gun in, and here I am.
You sure you weren't followed?
Oh, are you kidding? Wasn't nobody around but a skinny jerk and an Injun. They just stood there watching me ride off. Take it from me, Lucas. Ain't nothing to worry about.
Tex?
Yeah, I see it, son. The trail leads straight to that cave.
Good thing we left the horses when we did.
It's the place, all right. That pinto out there by spring, not the horse we follow.
Which means the killer's somewhere near. Probably inside the cave.
Well, then let's stay out here, huh?
Indeed. But what do we do now, Tex?
That's a good question, son. There's no telling how many men are here. To judge by the horses, there are a good number.
Maybe so this cave be hideout of Star's gang.
Yeah, a part of it. But our problem right now is to find out who the killer is and where he is.
Simple, Mason. Why ask me?
But Tex all around us. Men with guns.
Don't try anything, any of you. You're covered. Cadiano, what we do?
Doesn't look like there's anything to do, compadre. We've been caught very neatly.
You said it. My guards had you spotted a half mile off.
Yes, sirree, Mason. You walked right into our arms, and you're not getting out.
Right out of the frying pan into the fire. That seems to be the fate of our friends today. But this kind of fire may be fatal. Well, to find out just what happens next, you'll be listening when we continue this exciting adventure up on the Black Hills in just a few short moments. Say, riders, here's big news. Bobby's going to be doing some more traveling come June 5th. That's right. He'll be down in Wilmington, North Carolina for the mile-high kite flying contest held on top of Grandfather Mountain, Carolina's top scenic attraction. Children from miles and miles around will be there for this exciting, most unusual contest. You'll see all kinds of kites, flat, jet, all shapes and sizes that you yourself can make. Now, the judges of this very wonderful contest will be Captain Bill Craig, United States Air Force, known for having flown the most missions in the Korean War, Choo-Choo Charlie Justice, that great back, and the little boss himself. Now, this will be a wonderful day for everyone. So, riders, listen to old Cactus Carl. You keep listening. We'll tell you more later on. This is really fake news. But now let's get right back to the B-Bobby Riders and more of today's thrilling adventure, Den of Thieves. Yes, riders, it's only a few moments now since Bobby Benson, his foreman Tex Mason, and two of the riders were captured by the Star's gang. Only a few moments, but they've already been disarmed and their hands tied roughly behind them. Now, as the leader of the band, Lucas, chuckles at their discomfort, they're herded down the hill like cattle to the entrance of the cave, which is the gang's hideout.
Okay, this is good enough. What's the matter, Mason? Somehow you don't look happy.
We all make mistakes, mister. You made one, only yours is going to be fatal.
Yeah? How you figure that?
You set out to try to buck the law, and I don't know of any mistake that's bigger.
You don't say. Get this, Joker, Rocky. As good as dead, and he's telling me I made a mistake.
Yeah, some nerve. If I was you, Mason, I'd be worrying about myself instead of Lucas here. The Star, he don't like meddlers.
And you do work for the Star.
You mean you didn't know? Sure we do. No reason you shouldn't know now. You won't be telling anybody.
I see. When do we get to meet the Star?
Boss, you don't. Nobody ever sees him.
Nobody?
You heard him. Nobody gets to see the Star. Not even us.
You be work for a fellow you not even know? Not even Squaw be that much fool.
We don't have to know him to know how smart he is. And as to being a fool in...
Hold it, Rocky. No rough stuff. We'll wait till we hear from the Star and what he wants done with him.
Yeah, but this isn't...
I said we'll let the Star decide. Now let him go.
Okay. I sure hope the Star turns you over to me, Injun.
All right, boys. Take him into the back of the cave. We'll dump him there in the dark and let him think things over.
Tex, what are you doing? I can't see in the dark.
Just want to see what I can do with these ropes. They did a good job.
Too good. You never get out.
Maybe. But I've got to try.
Maybe if we could work our way over to where Winnie and Hawk are, maybe they could help us.
No, they're over on the other side of the cave. We never get to them in the dark. Besides, if I do get loose, I'm not sure I'd want them to know.
Huh? What do you mean, Tex?
Just what I said.
But why?
Because if I do get loose, all we could do would be to try to escape.
Golly, that sounds like enough to me.
No, son, it isn't. We'd be right back where we were. Don't forget, the sheriff still suspects me of murdering Brad and Jocko.
What are you going to do?
I won't do anything. But the king of the outlaws can do plenty.
The king?
Easy, son. I don't want Wendy and Harker to hear. So far, you're the only one who knows that I'm the king. I'd rather it stay that way. It's safer for everyone.
Golly, what good will it do if you pose as the king?
A great deal. King is an outlaw himself. He can do a lot that Tex Mason can't. And don't worry, if I'm gone for a while, I'll be back in plenty of time.
Yeah, but... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. You'll never get out of those ropes anyhow, I'm afraid. But Tex... Tex? Tex? Golly, he's gone.
That's what happened, Greg. Like I say, I know you took a liking to this here Tex Mason, but he looks guilty of sin to me.
I can't picture it, Sheriff. Mason didn't seem to me like the sort of just gun men down.
Maybe not, but who else could have done it? Besides, he lied to me about having a gun. And if he wasn't guilty, why'd he run off like he done? And where is he now? I tell you.
Hold him right where you are. Don't go for your guns.
That's what you...
I said not to go for your guns.
Next time I'll do more than fan you.
Looky here, mister. If you're one of the Star's men...
Yes again, Sheriff.
Well, then, who in blazes are you? And what are you wearing that mask for?
You may have heard of me. I'm called the King of the Outlaws.
Sheriff, this critter's loco.
No, maybe not, Greg. I've heard of this here king. Always thought it is just a story, but if you're the king, mister, I'll...
You do what you're told, Sheriff, and nothing more. And the same goes for you, Greg.
You know me?
You'd be amazed what I know. All right, turn around. And you, Sheriff, handcuff his hands behind his back.
Now, you see here, you can't... All right, you got the gun. I'll do it. Sorry, Greg.
I don't know what you're up to, mister, but you won't get away with it. I'll get loose, and when I do...
When you do, you'll find me at a cave near the Midland Trail, just beyond the springs. You probably know the spot.
Yeah?
All right, then, bring as large a posse as possible. You'll find us there.
Us? Now, looky here.
You heard me, Sheriff. You're coming with me. Either under your own power or under mine.
Well, you sure are playing your cards in a high-handed way, mister.
Maybe so, Sheriff. But that's because this is one game I've got to win. All right, Sheriff. Let's go. Hold it, Sheriff.
Dagnabbit, what's all this skulking around business? Seems to me like we're just heading in circles.
You gotta be careful, Sheriff. There are guards all around us. Now, I'm gonna slip you up close to the cave where you can hear all that goes on. And I'm going down to talk to Star's men and try to get them to talk.
Just how you aim to do that?
Simple, Sheriff, by telling them that I'm the Star.
Well, you're loco.
Perhaps, but they've never seen the Star. I think I can pull it off. In any case, I want your word that you'll just listen and won't interfere. Now, do I have your word?
Well, I reckon there's nothing else I can do. If you're on the level about helping to trap the gang, I'll go along. But I warn you, that this ain't going to stop me from going after you in the future.
Okay, Sheriff. Well, let's just hope this works. All right, let's move down there near the cave. From then on, you just listen.
But even as Tex leads the sheriff down and prepares for his very desperate gamble, his chance of success begins to flicker and go out, extinguished by the cold, imperious whine of the radio within the cave.
Hey, Lucas, listen. Radio's acting up. Star must be trying to reach us.
Already? No, he's early. It is near sundown. Well, it'll just give us a chance to tell him about catching Mason and his bunch sooner. Go ahead, boss. We hear you. And we've plenty to report.
Never mind your report now. I've learned something much more important that requires immediate action. You are about to have visitors.
What?
A masked man who calls himself the King of the Outlaws is on his way to your cave with the sheriff right now. There's also a posse being formed in town to follow them.
Holy smoke.
You will dispatch most of your men at once to hold off the posse at the springs. You yourself will remain to meet the king when he arrives. Your orders, kill him at all costs. This is the Star. Obey.
It sounds to me as if Tex is due to walk straight into a trap. Or will he? Well, riders, to find out, you'll be listening when we bring you the climax of our adventure in just a moment. Here's a Mutual Minute. Here's a brand new way to remember safety in crossing streets. Learn to play the safety color game. Red is for the red traffic light, which means stop. Do not cross the street. Orange and yellow mean caution. Stop and wait and make sure crossing is safe. Green means cross the street only after you've looked both ways, just to make sure that no cars are coming. Blue is the color of the policeman's coat. Whenever you see this man, it means he's there to make sure that you're in no danger. He will direct traffic and tell you when you may safely cross the street. Now, why don't you and all your friends play the safety color game every day? If you do, you know something? Everyone will be safe, and no one will be sorry. But now back to the Bee-Bobby Riders and the climax of today's adventure, the Den of Thieves. Well, Riders, it looks as if Tex Mason's desperate gamble is about to backfire. Tex, in his disguise of the king of the outlaws, has brought the sheriff to the den of the Star's men. He himself is about to go down to talk to them in a desperate hope that they'll say enough to clear him. But what Tex doesn't know is that the Star has warned them of his coming, that he's walking straight into a death trap.
Hey, Lucas, look. Here he comes. A masked man walking straight for the cave.
Right into our hands.
Yeah, but I don't see the sheriff. He was supposed to be with him. Where do you figure he is?
Who knows? Maybe the king killed him. We can find out easy enough. When I give you the high sign, grab him.
Grab him? But the Star said to kill him.
And we will, after we find out what he's done with the sheriff. All right, quiet now. Here he comes. All right, hold it, mister. Who are you and what do you want?
Relax, Lucas.
You know me?
I should, even if you don't know me.
Yeah. How come?
It's simple. I'm the Star.
You? But... Oh, sure. I should have known. Well, I'm glad to finally meet you. Yes, sirree. All right, Rocky, now.
What? Reach, King, and don't try anything. This is a gun in your back.
What is this, Lucas? You double-crossing me?
Drop the act. You're not the Star, and we know it. The Star already radioed us. Warned us you were coming.
Yeah, what do you say to that, wise guy?
Nothing. Of course I called you.
You did?
I called you and then came to help you.
Yeah, but...
Hey, Lucas, you think he could be telling the truth?
I don't know.
All right, I'll prove it. If I'm not the Star, how would I know about the murder of Jocko and Brad? Who but the Star'd know that you used Tex Mason's gun for the murder to frame him?
You know that?
Yes, I know that, and I know, Lucas, that you're the real murderer.
You... Well, you don't say. Well, for your information, I didn't kill him. It was Rocky what done it. And that answers our questions, mister.
In mine, Lucas. All right, Sheriff, you heard enough. Come on up, get him.
Sheriff? Well, what's he doing?
Make sure that you wait for him, Rocky. Rocky, and here's the same for you, Lucas. They're both out, Sheriff, so come and get them. I'm leaving.
Hey, you. Who is there?
Quiet, son. Just me.
Oh, it's you, Tex. Where you been?
Well, I've been mighty busy, son. But now I've got to get these ropes back on. So I look as though I'm tied.
Tex, someone's coming.
What?
I can see it like But who could... Hey, Sheriff!
Mason, in Bobby.
Connie, we're glad to see you.
Quick, Sheriff. Get these ropes off. Easy now, there ain't no rush.
There's only 2 of the Star's men around, and they're handcuffed. It turns out that one of them is the one that killed Brad and Jocko.
Yes, we know that, Sheriff. But the other men have gone to intercept your posse.
They have?
Yes, they have. But if you get us loose, we can attack the Star's men around from the back. Then we can take them easily.
Well, doggone. Let's get these ropes off of you.
Yeah.
Only
what, Sheriff?
Well, there was another fella I was hoping to catch.
Huh?
He's the one that bunged me here and tricked the Star's men into talking. Only then he knocked them out and disappeared before I could catch him.
Well, you mean, another outlaw, Sheriff?
Well, he called himself the king of the outlaw.
Huh?
I was hoping to find where he had gone, only... Well, I reckon it's more important to catch the rest of the Star's gang, huh? This king of the outlaws, he'll probably be around a while anyhow. Maybe I'll meet him again.
Well, now, you never know, Sheriff. You might at that. Yes, you just might at that.
And so ends another thrilling adventure with the B-Barbie Riders. You know, this story has plenty of angles. And this Tex Mason, not only a great foreman and a great cowhand, but also a pretty good actor, too. The king of the outlaws. He does it well. Yeah, we'll feature today Bobby Benson, Bob Haig, Wendy Wales, Don Knotts, Jim Bowles, Frank Behrens, Humphrey Davis, Frank Milano, and Harker. The B-Bobby Riders is produced by Herbert Rice, directed by Bob Novak. Script was by Jim Sheehan. Original transcribed music composed and conducted by John Gart. This is Cactus Carl Warren speaking, reminding you all over again that you're riding the trail to adventure and excitement when you hear that familiar cry. This program came from New York. This is the world's largest network, the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Here they come. They're right past, they're right past. It's time for excitement and adventure in the modern West with Bobby Benson and the B-Barbie Riders. And out in front, trying to hold his Palomino amigo, the cowboy kid himself, Bobby Benson. Today's very unusual adventure, the Ghost Rider. And here to tell you about today's adventure is that voluble purveyor of extravagant anecdotes, that travesty of truthfulness, the one and only Wendy Wales.
Well, thank you, Mr. Announcer. Folks, the reason I'm to tell you about today's adventure is that I'm the only one that knows the whole story. Not even the little boss or Tex or any of the other fellers know about it. But I just got to tell somebody. Well, Riders, it all started out one day about a week ago when a feller by the name of J. Parsifal Butterball landed down in the Big Bend. And that's where my trouble began. You see, this Butterball is the editor on one of them big Eastern papers, so right away when he got here, all the local reporters went to see him to get his opinion.
That's right, gentlemen. You asked my opinion, and I'm giving it to you. I say the modern West is nothing but a fraud. Oh, perhaps the old days of the West had something, but in my opinion, the men of the modern West are nothing but a bunch of bow-legged buffoons. Yes, gentlemen, I say the modern West is nothing but a fraud, and you may quote me.
Now, can you imagine that, Riders? A feller saying a thing like that about the West when there's all us red-blooded, two-gun feuding, fighting he-men out here? Well, naturally, as soon as I read what he said in the local paper, it just got my dander up something fierce. So it just took me a while to think out a good plan, and then right off I went in to see the foreman of the B-Barbie, Tex Mason. Yes, sir, and Riders, within just a few minutes. Wendy, what happened to you? Tex throwed me out.
You can't blame him, Wendy, with this idea of yours. For us to pretend to be outlaws and attack him so that you can then make like a hero and rescue him.
Irish, I think it's a good scheme.
Well, I say it's plain downright foolishness.
And what did Tex say, Wendy?
He said it was plain downright foolishness. But fellas,
Wendy, you might just as well forget it. You've talked us into a lot of crazy schemes in the past, but this is one time it just isn't going to work.
Well, all right, then. I'll go into town and find somebody that will help me. But doggone it, before I'm done, I'll teach that varmint that us men of the West ain't to be fooled with. Well, about a half hour later, I was in town looking over the fellers lounging in front of the general store and trying to decide who'd I'd ask to help me. But then I seen. Yes, sirree, I seen these two fellers off to one side, and before I even approached them, I knowed they was real sons of the West.
Oh, me, what I'd give to be back in Flatbush. Ah, shut up, Brooklyn. All you do is gripe.
I got reason to gripe. I was a happy, peaceful pickpocket back home till you shut up with your big talk about the money to be made in the West.
Where is so? But I ain't figured out a good angle yet.
Angle schmangle. What do you expect, Decky? You think some dumb jerk is going to walk up this and offer us a plan for a robbery or...
Howdy, fellers.
Speak of the devil.
Huh? Never mind my partner. Tell me, what can I do for you, sucker?
Sucker? Hey, oh, you must have mistook me for somebody else. My name's Wales. Walter Wellington Wales, 3rd Executive Acting Foreman for the BBRB.
Would you toss that my way again?
Toss what?
Oh, never mind. Look, Short, Light, and Gruesome, what is it you want?
Well, fellers, I want your help.
In what?
In a crusade to uphold the fair name of the West. You see, I could tell just by looking at you fellers that you're real sons of the West.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
Yeah, Brooklyn, Texas. It's just a little north of San Antonio.
Oh, well, fellers, you're going to find this hard to believe, but there's a varmint in our midst who's had the nerve to slander the fair name of the West.
You don't say.
Yeah, I just did. And I say it's up to us to teach him a lesson.
How?
Well, I got it all figured out. You see, if you two will make out like you're a couple of low-down crooks...
Hey, now, what?
Oh, I know you don't look like crooks, but then he'll never know the difference.
You really think we can pass as crooks?
Sure. You just leave it to me. I'll teach you how to act tough. But anyhow, what I want is for you two to pretend to be a couple of crooks and, that are after him, see? And then I'll make like a hero and rescue him.
You, a hero?
Why, sure. I'm a natural for the part, don't you think? Or don't you?
Becky, do you think this guy's for real?
I don't know, Brooklyn. We just don't know.
What was that?
Look, cowboy.
My friends call me Wendy. I never could figure out why.
Well, Wendy, if we was crooks, which we're not, of course, why should we go after this fella?
Well, heck, this feller, his name's Butterball, by the way. He's a rich man. Got more money than a flea has dogs.
Well, that's really loaded, huh?
Why, I hear that even the rings in his bathtub are set with diamonds. Yes, sirree, fellers. And I'll bet he could just sit down and write out a check for $1 million without even giving it a thought.
Now, that's the sort of pigeon we've been looking for.
It's up to us to demonstrate to this feller that there's plenty of real bad men and heroes in the West.
Well, you think, Brooklyn? It's worth a try. And if the guy is as rich as his character says he is...
Yeah. Okay, Wendy? We'll do it.
You mean it? You'll pretend to be crooks?
Sure. We'll pretend.
And you'll let me be the hero that saves him and stops you?
Sure, Wendy. We'll let you stop us. We'll let you stop us as sure as we're from Texas.
Say, now, it looks as though Wendy is really getting himself into a predicament this time. Hiring two crooks and practically handing them a chance for a crime. But then we've seen Wendy blunder his way through before, so there might be hope yet. Anyway, you'll want to be sure to keep listening when we continue this fairly unusual adventure in just a moment. Now let's get back to today's adventure, The Ghost Rider.
Well, riders, like I told you, this here rich feller, J. Parsifal Butterball, come out to the Big Bend and right away started making incinerating remarks about the West. Now, being as how I'm a man of action, I got burned up with this. And I decided that even if none of the fellers on the ranch had helped me, I was going to teach that varmint a lesson. But being a man of superior intelligence as well, I decided not to let on to the other riders that I was up to something. No, sir. I was careful not to let them suspect a thing.
Heaven's sake, Wendy, will you stop cackling like you're going to lay an egg? What are you up to, anyhow?
Who, me? Why, not a thing, fellas, not a thing.
You be up to something, all right, Windman. Otherwise, why you sit there all day with smile like cat with smaller little mouses, eh?
Hell now, fellas, I tell you, it's all your imagination. Besides, it's none of your business.
Heck, it ain't. When you start off on one of these harebrained schemes of yours, it's everybody's business. Boy, oh boy, when Tex gets after you...
Now, doggone it, Harris, don't you go tattletaling this to Tex, or I'll...
Or what, you what?
Doggone, why do folks always ask me that? Confuses me.
Well, it happens that Tex already knows. That's why he sent for Bobby a little while ago.
Yeah, but that ain't fair.
Windy, you know that these schemes of yours always backfire, and we have to pull you out of trouble.
You pull me out of trouble? Why, sure. Fiddle and all such remarks.
Well, it's the truth. And we're getting done sick and tired of your lame brain.
Now, you listen here, Harris. To help me out... No, doggone it. This is the one time I ain't going to let you upset my dignity.
Your what?
My dignity. Besides, I got more important things to do than stand here jawing with you.
Things like what?
Like an important meeting in town, if you must know. So just get out of my way now.
Hey, Wendy! Wendy, wait up a minute.
What better you wait, Windman? Here's some buddy boy.
Me, I just know something would happen at the last minute.
Hey, Wendy, I got a message for you, a message from Tex.
Little boss, I ain't going to do it.
Huh? Oh, does he do what, Wendy?
Whatever job Tex has cooked up to keep me on the ranch tonight.
But he hasn't a job for you.
Eh?
No, he just said for me to give you a warning.
Oh, well. A warning?
Yeah, that's right. He said to tell you that he knows that you're mixed up in some sort of scheme, and that you'd better forget it.
Oh, yeah? Well, you just tell him that he can...
Wendy, this is Tex we're talking about.
Yeah, well... Oh. Well, doggone it. I ain't stopping even if it is. I ain't giving up my plans for nothing.
Well, and you'll need the rest of his message. He said to tell you that if you go through with your plans anyhow, you're on your own.
Huh?
Oh, that's what he said, Wendy. If you get into any trouble this time, we're not getting you out of it.
Okay, then. That suits me.
Oh, and one more thing. He said that whatever happens, you're not going to make the B-Bar be any bad publicity.
And is that all, little boss?
That's all.
Well, then, you can just tell Tex that whether he helps me or not, Windy Wales is going to uphold the honor and tradition of the West. But now I got places to go, so get up, Mabel. Oh, I forgot my horse. So long, fellas.
Oh, golly, Windy gets crazier by the day.
Sometimes I think he's as dumb as he looks. Yeah, but that's the same, Bobby. If he gets into trouble, this may not end as a laughing matter.
Maybe so we'd be smart to follow him into town, eh?
Yeah, you're right. But, golly, what are we standing around for then? Let's get saddled and follow.
Hold on, Bobby, look.
Hey, Wendy stopped in front of the general store. Oh, you find Mabel with the instrument.
More better we stay here, buddy boy, for he'll not see us.
Yeah, but what's he up to? Who are those two men he's talking?
I don't know, Bobby. It looks like he knows them. And, hey, look, the three of them are going into that building next to the general store.
Hey, that's where that butterball feller is staying.
Yeah, he and a couple of servants rented that house.
Oh, golly, then that means Wendy is going through with this plan to teach him a lesson. Well, what do we do?
Well, there's nothing we can do, Bobby. Nothing but wait out here and just hope the Windy isn't getting into any trouble in there.
Okay, Booker. Make sure the servant is tied up like the other while I go let Wales in.
Okay, Seconi, I still don't get this. Well, why let this Wales character in when you're figuring on crossing him anyhow?
Oh, it's the easiest way to keep him out of trouble. We'll just string him along so he don't get suspicious. Now, just you wait there while I let him in. Okay, Wales, come on in. Get everybody except Butterball himself tied up. He's still upstairs.
Doggone, you fellas sure work fast. And you got them fellas tied up just like he was real crooks.
Well, you want it to look real, don't you?
Sure, and we like to oblige, don't we, Decker?
Oh, fellas, I sure appreciate that.
Oh, think nothing of it. Nothing at all.
Now, you remember the rest of the plan, don't you, fellas?
Yes, sure, Wales. We'll go up and give Butterball a scare, and then you come in and chase us out. Right?
Yes, sirree. And is this ever going to be a joke on him?
It'll be a joke on somebody, huh?
Oh, wait, one other thing, Will. Just to be sure that there ain't any accidents, you better take the shells out of your gun.
Oh, heck, fellas, I'd never shoot you.
Just the same, it's better to be on the safe side. Go on now, take the shells out of your gun.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah, guess you are right. No sense taking chances.
Yeah, that's what I figured. All right, Brooklyn, you ready?
Oh, ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, then let's go get that buttergo.
Yes, sir. You go get him, and feller, don't forget to act real scared when I come up.
Yes, sure.
Doggone, I just can't wait for this. I just can't wait.
Now, see here. You can't do this to me.
We're doing it. Now, write out that check like we told you.
No. Keep away from me. I think he needs some persuasion, Decker.
Yeah, but not here. Not to take him someplace outside of town where we won't be interrupted. Okay, Brooklyn, tie him up and we'll take him with us.
But you can't do this.
And gag him, too.
Yeah, right. Now, you keep away from me. Don't you dare try to put that thing in my mouth. Don't you... There we are. That's better. But you better give me a hand with the tie-in, Decker, so we can get out of here.
Take your time. We got plenty of time. All right,
you butters, get your hands up. Now, come on, reach for the sky. I got you covered.
Hey, you better leave a little slack in that rope on the plate, Brooklyn. Keep it tight enough to hobble him, but loose enough so we can walk him out of here.
Reach for it. I got you covered.
Okay, Dick, I know just what you mean.
Up with your hands, or I'll blast you to keep them calm. Oh, come on now, fellas. Put your hands up.
You figure out yet where we'll take him, Decker?
Fellers, please.
Well, there's a deserted shack just behind the crossroads you ought to do. We'll hold him there till we take the shack, huh?
Pretty please with sugar on it.
Yeah, I guess it ought to do. There we are. That'll hold him.
Now, doggone fellas, this ain't right. I got my guns aimed at you. You're supposed to put your hands up.
Brooklyn, you hear something?
Now, fellas.
Yeah, I do. Seem to hear a noise.
Hands up.
You reckon we ought to do something about it?
I got you covered.
Yeah, I guess we should. Will you do the honors, Decker?
Oh, glad to, Brooklyn.
Now, doggone it, fellas, this ain't the way we... I said this ain't the way we...
How do you like that? Kept right on talking even after he was knocked unconscious. No wonder they call him Windy, huh?
We'll talk for a while. Come on. Brooklyn, you standing there looking at wheels?
I was just thinking, Decker. This is the way I always want to remember him. Lying there on the floor with his foot behind his ear. So quiet, so peaceful. That's our own little sleeping beauty.
Well, now, I'd be willing to wager that Windy wouldn't be sleeping so peacefully if he knew what this innocent scheme of his had led to. But even Windy is bound to wake up someday. And when he does, well, writers, just be sure to be listening as we return for the climax of today's very unusual adventure in just a moment. But now let's get back to the B-Bobby Riders and the climax of today's very unusual adventure, the Ghost Rider and our own Windy Whale.
Yep, that's me, folks. Unconscious as usual. You remember what happened, don't you? How I set out to make that butterball critter sorry for all them nasty remarks he'd made about the rest. Only then, before I knowed what happened, the two fellers I'd got to help me, Decker and Brooklyn, while they crossed me, knocked me out, and set out with Butterball as their captain. Meanwhile...
More better you keep voices quiet, Bobby boy. Anyone see us here in shadows, they're liable to get suspicious.
You're right there. But, golly, we just gotta find out what Wendy's up to. I think maybe we ought to just go ahead into the house.
I don't know, Bobby. I've been thinking about that myself, but Oh, look!
Hey, there's three fellas coming out of the house now.
Yeah, what would they be? Two big fellows you see with Windman before. But third man.
Oh, that third fellow looks like he's sick or something. They're practically having to drag him.
Just nothing, Bobby. He's tied.
Right. Irish, are you sure?
Great day in the morning, Bobby. That's Butterball. The fellow that Windy was so mad at.
Oh, then this must be part of Wendy's scheme.
Yeah, see. But where Windman be?
Oh, golly, wherever he is, he's sure asking for trouble tying Butterball up that way. So we've got to stop this before it goes too far. Or Wendy's liable to spend the rest of his life in jail.
So the little boss and Irish and Harker rode off after Decker and Brooklyn and their captain. But what they didn't know was that I was still lying unconscious in the house. That's right, I was still out like a light from where Decker clumped me. And when I finally did come to... Oh, me. Did anyone see which way that elephant went? Hey, what's that thing in front of my face? It's no good. But how did it ever get way up here? Oh, me, I got myself entangled. There. That's better. All them varmints had me tangled up like a pretzel. Hey, but that reminds me. It's Decker in Brooklyn. They've taken Mr. Butterball with them. Well, they won't get far. No, sirree, not with 2 gun whales on their trail. Yes, sirree, riders, old Winnie Wales is about to take a part in the game. And since I already knowed where they aimed to take Butterball, all I had to do was to get there. Only that wasn't so easy. First, I tried the door to the room, only it was locked. So then I deducted me a quick deduction and made for the window. Nobody can outthink old Winnie Wales. And I was right. Yes, sirree. All I had to do was open the window, climb out, and let myself drop stealthily to the ground. Doggone it. Left that rain barrel there. Well, anyhow, I climbed out of the barrel, wrung myself out, and looked around. But I found I still wasn't free. No, sir, because I was in the courtyard behind the general store without any way out except through the clothes store itself. That didn't stop me. No, sirree. I guess you've heard how them there fictional detectives can pick a lock. Well, I just walked up to the back door of the general store, and luckily the door was unlocked, so I walked in. But then, riders, right then was when an inspiration just up and kicked me right in the face. Yes, sirree. I suddenly realized that them 2 varmints wasn't likely to take me serious even if I did catch up with them. You see, they don't know what a really tough hombre I am. So I decided to not let them know who I was. But how? Well, I'd wear a mask. So I just looked around for a hunk of cloth, seen one hanging from up in the loft, and give it a yank. Well, riders, when I crawled out from the bags of flour and other stuff that had fallen on me, I was a mess. M-E-S, mess. Yes, sir, you see, I was all wet to begin with from that darn raised barrel. Then when a sack of flour popped open and poured all over me, well, riders, that flour stuck to me and left me as white as a ghost. But did that run me? Did it? Well, frankly, it did. But then I says to myself, Winnie Wales, are you a man or a mouse? After we debated the question a while, I finally said to heck with it, made myself a mask and put it on. Then went out through the front of the general store to get the horse stable and start after that. Okay, now, Mabel, honey, it's going to be up to you from now on. Don't you know me, Mabel? It's me, you're Wendy. No, Mabel, wait for me, don't run. Oh, me. I must look so horrible that I even scared poor Mabel off. Oh, well, I guess it's too far to walk to that shack. All right, Pete, get it going. So I started off to that shack where Decker and Brooklyn had taken Mr. Butterball. But what I didn't know was that the little boss and Irish and Harker was there, too. That's right. They'd followed Decker and the others and was hiding outside the shack, trying to figure what to do.
Gotta do something. We can't wait out here anymore.
Yeah, but what do we do about it? Those 2 around, we're not.
Well, one of us will have to go for help to the sheriff.
Nobody, boy. I cannot think that be wise. We call in sheriff, maybe so Windman get in trouble.
Oh, but Sally, we've just got to do something.
Boy, B.
Oh, Irish, what's wrong?
The Sanskrit service. Bobby. Look, coming up the road from town. It's a ghost.
A ghost? Oh, now, Irish.
Well, look for yourself. See?
Hey, there is something or someone coming toward the shack. And it does look like a ghost. Oh, this place, it's all right. Well, there's no attempt.
But Bobby boy, if it not be ghost, then what it be? I can never see anything like it in whole life.
I don't know. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's sure heading into trouble. Look, it's going straight toward that shack.
Right foot, left foot. Come on, keep moving. And now just hope that Decker and Brooklyn don't recognize me. They mightn't scare them. Well, here goes. mean it's human? Well, answer me. I am the Ghost Rider.
Oh, now listen here.
No, stay where you are. I'll shoot. Hey, now put them guns down. We ain't done nothing. No? Then who's that feller tied up to that chair?
Well, he just...
He is a poor, helpless citizen who you have captured, and I, the Ghost Rider, have come to rescue him.
He's just wet. Wacky is so dumb that he's talking. Hey, you, Ghost Rider. Who's that behind you?
Behind me? I don't see nobody.
Hey,
now that ain't fair. You tricked me. Now let go of my arm.
Hey, Brooklyn, don't you stand there. Help me.
I just can't believe it. A guy's dumb enough to pull that old trick. I can't believe it. I can't. Yeah. Sorry, Decker. Give me a chance to slug him out.
Well, doggone, if that ain't something, I ducked and they knocked each other out. Well, now, Mr. Butterball, let me take that bag out of your mouth.
Oh, my good man, you saved my life.
Shucks, Mr. Butterball. Think nothing of it. That's all a day's work for us now as the heroes. But here, I'll just cut these ropes off here. Now, do you think you can handle these varmints till the sheriff gets here?
Just leave it to me. But you aren't leaving, are you?
Oh, pray to God, you know how it is. A hero's work is never done. But one thing first. Are you convinced now that there are bad men and heroes in the modern West?
I certainly am. And I'm going to say so in every newspaper in the country. But tell me so that I can give you credit. Who are you?
Me? Why, ain't you here to me? I'm that famous hero of the West. That helper of the helpless. I am the Ghost Rider. And that's what happened, Riders. The Butterball, he turned them varmints over to the sheriff, and then he wrote a whole story for the papers about what a great place the West is, and particularly about that great hero, the Ghost Rider. But me, well, I didn't dare let nobody know that I was the ghost after Texas warning. You folks is the first ones I ever did tell. Except, well, I did try to tell the other riders once, but you see, Irish was reading about the Ghost Rider, and also the entire system is claiming this newfound hero of the West. No one has yet been able to learn his identity. Really, P, I'd sure like to know who this Ghost Rider really is.
Oh, golly, yes. I wish now that we'd had a closer look at him that night at the shack.
Whoever he be, he must be a great man. And what are you talking about, Wendy? Wouldn't you like to know who the Ghost Rider is?
Well, that is, you see, I do know.
What did you?
But there's something the whole West would like to know, Wendy. Who is he? Who is the Ghost Rider?
Well, fellows, to tell the truth, I am you, Wendy.
Oh, no. Oh, you kid me.
You see how it is, Riders? Somehow folks just don't realize that I'm a hero.
Riders, this is Bonnie Benson of the B-Bar-B Riders.
Brought to you by
Dentine, the gum with breathtaking flavor.
and Beeman's Pepsin, the gum that's great to chew and good for your digestion, too.
And this is Cactus Carl Warren, along with Bobby Benson, Windy Wales and his Wild Tales, and Tex Fletcher, the singing cowboy. And here's Bobby.
Gonna stand the Bronco high and scratch your hide and guide your bottom. I'm a rider of the B-Bar-B. From the plains of old Montana to the flowing Rio Grande, singing riding o'er a prairie.
Gallop along, gallop along, gallop along, gallop along, sing as we ride the prairie sea. Gallop along, gallop along, gallop along, gallop along, we're the riders of the B-Bar-B.
Sure is windy out today.
Oh, did you call me, little boss? It sure is windy. Which reminds me of the time I captured Sweet Potato Smith, the desperate desperado from Desert Gulch.
Tell us about it, Windy.
Well, sir, I was going to do that. I was holding down 2 jobs at the time. I was assistant to the deputy sheriff, and I was a traveling handkerchief salesman. People around Desert Gulch had to keep their noses clean, I'll tell you that. Well, one day, Sweet Potato Smith escaped from the county jailhouse, and I took off after him. because he was the only hombre in town which hadn't bought a handkerchief. Well, I finally trailed him up in the mountains right near the border.
Did you catch him?
Oh, little boss, that Maverick was a tricky one. You see, he had himself 2 horses, and he sent one horse up one mountain, and he and the other horse went up the other.
And you followed the wrong horse?
In my long career of defending justice, that was the only mistake I ever made. When I got to the top of the mountain, there on the other side of the canyon was Sweet Potato. I was so sad, fellas, I had to reach into my saddlebag and pull out one of my special 50-cent handkerchiefs.
Oh, what a shame, Wendy.
In fact, I was so sad that 50-cent one wasn't good enough. Had to discard it and use a 75-cent one. Well, anyways, that gave me an idea. You see, there was a big wind blowing right in the direction of Sweet Potato. So I reached in, pulled out one of my extra special $1.50 tent-size handkerchiefs for ladies and weddings, and opened it up.
What for, Wendy?
To make a wind sail. Sure enough, the wind just caught hold of that $1.50 special and lifted me clean out of the saddle. Next thing Sweet Potato knowed, I was a-floating over his head, telling him to drop his guns. Sweet Potato was stuck right there. I talked him into buying 100.
Chiclet.
Taste the difference when you chew. Flavor on the outside, inside, too.
Chiclet.
Time the difference by the clock. Flavor lingers. Tick, tick, tock.
Chiclet.
Count the difference. Count 'em, cousin. Every box, an even dozen.
Chiclet.
Get the Big Nickel Squirt. You can taste the difference, time the difference, count the difference. And whether you chew gum to keep your mouth fresh and clean, or just for the plain fun of chewing it, you'll be better off on every count with Chiclets. They're flavored on the outside, flavored on the inside. With Chiclets, you don't chew the flavor out, you chew the flavor in. That's why the goodness lingers on and on.
They're candy-coated.
Flavor-coated.
Pleasure-coated.
And more fun for your money. So get the Big Nickel's worth.
Chiclet.
I guess I'll take the soak guitar and get along. Now maybe find a place where I belong. All the fields are green, but those hills I've never seen. So I'll take the soak guitar and get along. I'll get along.
Well, riders, till next Sunday at the same time. Adios, amigos.
Adios, Bobby.
There he goes, Tennessee! Get him! Got him! Dead center!
That's Jed Sloan, Tennessee Jed, deadliest man with a rifle ever to ride the Western Plains. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, by the bakers of enriched tip-top bread. Nick Dalton, who plans to renew the war between the states and take over the government, has given Tennessee the slip. Thus, his first thought is for the safety of Sandy and Rod Roberts. But before brother and sister can be sent packing to San Antonio, Tennessee and Cookstove learn from Joshua Masters that Dalton has taken another step towards inciting war. As a result of Dalton's lying, Del Rio partisans have vowed to battle federal troops coming from San Antonio to replace those killed during Dalton's raid on Camp Hudson.
Dalton plays his cards right, Cookstove. And he can work them Del Rio boys up to doing battle with them federal troops coming from San Antonio.
No, the war's over, Tennessee. Nobody's got any reason for checking government troops now.
Dalton gets them Del Rio boys riled enough, Cookstove. They'll be spiling for battle. Listen, we can catch Dalton in time. War'll break out sure enough.
We'll never do it, Tennessee. Dalton's trying to rile hotheads on both sides, ain't he?
Of course he is, Cookstove. Don't you see? He's playing both ends against the middle.
Well, that's like burning a candle at both ends. Good work.
It's working for Dalton, Cookstove.
Because killing off Camp Hudson soldiers is a sure way to bring reinforcements from San Antone.
Of all the poor notions, killing off United States soldiers at Camp Hudson just so others had come from San Antone to take the place.
That's Dalton's way of working, Cookstove. By lying to them boys at Del Rio, he's got 'em spiling for battle. Because he's convinced them Camp Hudson was Northern doings.
And I suppose he's got soldiers coming from San Antone just to convince them he's right.
Wrong, Cookstove. He's got 'em coming so them boys from Del Rio have a target for their anger.
Now, wait a minute, Tennessee. If Dalton can play both ends against the middle, like you say, and rile them boys to where they'll tangle with federal troops, that means war.
Yeah, Cookstove. And the only way to prevent that is stop the man what's stirring up hatred on both sides. And stop 'em before Southern forces attack federal troops.
'Twon't work, I tell you, 'twon't work. Dalton's too smart a hombre to get himself caught. Not this late in the game.
It's gotta work, Cookstove. We gets Miss Sandy, Rod, and Joshua headed for San Antone, then picks up the new sheriff in Sonora. Dalton has gotta be found, or North and South starts fighting again.
We've got to find Nick Dalton quick before he starts a war. And since we don't know where he is, that is an awful chore.
Will Tennessee succeed in capturing Nick Dalton before the Del Rio group, under false provocation, attacks the federal forces en route from San Antonio? We'll learn his next move in just 1 minute. Gang, just try a creamy, smooth slice of tip-top bread with jelly. Believe this, old country boy, you've never known bread and jelly could taste so good. You see, enriched tip-top bread is baked by a special, gentle kneading method no other bread has that fills it with rich, weedy flavor, makes it smooth as velvet. Tip-top is so creamy, tender, so delicious, you'll raid the pantry often for soft, tempting slices plain, or in sandwiches, or as sunny golden toast. Every loaf of enriched tip-top bread gives you 3 B vitamins, food iron, protein for muscles, plus more energy per ounce than most meats. Look for the star-in wrapper for better bread tonight. It sure is tip-top. Sandy Roberts is now safely on her way to San Antonio with young Rod and Joshua Masters as escorts. So Tennessee and Cookstove lose no time in joining Snake Edwards and Jose Rosita at the office of Sonora's new sheriff.
Snake and Jose still there, Cookstove. Their horses is tied to the hitching rack.
Oh, Roger. Oh, boy.
Smoky feller.
Oh,
boy.
Oh, boy. I tell you, Tennessee, we ain't going to be able to stop Nick Dalton.
You sure don't raise a feller's spirits none, Cookstove. But maybe so you feel happier when we learn what the sheriff done found out.
Seems like we're just in time for a good laugh, Tennessee.
Cookstove, let's see what's causing it.
Now you two lay off. Here trouble is brewing, and you're making fun of my new title.
Hogwash, I tell you. There ain't a frazzling thing to be done till Tennessee and Cookstove shows up. Now, is there, deputy?
Dag-nabbit, Snake. It ain't deputy no more. I's the sheriff, duly elected by the honest voters of Sonora.
Plain as Snake. The deputy, he is sheriff. But the sheriff, he have no name. It's very funny, no?
Of course I got a name. It's just that I don't cotton to it. So how'd you like to be named Reginald Percival Tweed?
For a handy gunslinger like you, that is an awful name, deputy.
Sheriff, Snake. It's It's a genuine sheriff now. And I aims to be called by my full title.
But it's gotta be Sheriff something, else how's folks gonna know which sheriff we mean? Well, senor, we could call him Sheriff Sweet, no? Of course we could, Jose. And for a sort of pet name, we could refer to the gent as Sweetie. Or we could call him Sheriff Percy, short for Percival. Sheriff Percy. Sheriff Percy Sweet. Sheriff Percy. Oh. Hey, hombre. Who you think you're kicking in the seat of the pants? Si, hombre. Jose, he does not permit the kicking in the pants of the plain snake.
Then lay off making fun of my calling name. And I ain't fooling.
All right. But kick old Snake one more time, and I'll pull that leg off and beat your head in with it. And I ain't fooling. Si, and Jose, he pull off the leg too. And Jose, he's not fooling too.
Make a deal then. I won't kick Snake in the pants if and you both quit making fun of my calling name.
Senor, that is, how you say, that is the deal, no? All right. Forget about your name. It's a deal.
Now, that's plumb decent of you fellas. Everybody'll be happy as long as you refer to me as Sheriff.
Now we're right back where we started. Sheriff what?
Why not make it Sheriff Tate?
Yeah, what's wrong with... Who said that?
Yeah, good for you, Tennessee. Now we can forget this here and get down to business.
After all, there's no reason a gent can't change his name. Besides, Sheriff Tate ain't too far off from Wheat.
Gents, from now on, when you're speaking of me, say...
Sheriff Tate.
That's the idea. Like that a heap better.
Now, let's forget foolishness and see if and we can find Nick Dalton quick as we give Sheriff a new name.
Find him quicker, Tennessee. It's more accurate that way.
How you mean, Sheriff?
Well, listen, the deputy I sent out can talk him out of fighting, Tennessee. Them Del Rio boys is on the warpath already.
Can't wait for his report, Sheriff. We gotta catch Nick Dalton. And catch him before Southern forces meet federal troops in open battle. Let's ride.
That's what I say, Tennessee. Hey, everybody outside and mount up.
Yeah, come on,
Hold it, gents.
Huh?
Here comes a rider now, Sheriff. He the one you sent out?
Yeah, Tennessee. Maybe so. He's got news.
If any has, he ain't in much shape to spill it. Looks like he's been gun whipped.
Ho! Easy. Give me a hand, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Poor devil's about done for.
Get him out of the saddle.
That's it.
Here,
Look at that. Gents, there's no telling who jumped this poor devil. Dalton's bunch are Southern sympathizers.
Either way, Tennessee, it's a sure sign trouble we expectin' is done here. Trouble, worries on my mind. Fate sure has been unkind. Uh-oh. The scout ordered by Sheriff Tate to pacify the angry Southern sympathizers returns to his boss badly manhandled. Does this mean war is inevitable? We'll find out in just 60 seconds. Neighbor, it's dollars to donuts. You will have all your pals strong behind you when you say tip-top is keen. This bread that brings you Tennessee Jed is different from other breads. It's the only bread baked by gentle kneading, so that each slice is as delicious and smooth as tempting homemade. Double-check me on that by sampling your own soft, smooth, tip-top sandwich. your own piece of crispy, golden tip-top toast. And remind the family this dandy bread gives you tip-top food value, too. It's enriched with food iron and 3 B vitamins to meet Uncle Sam's own high standards. At your food store, the stars are your guide to better bread, so look for the red star end wrapper for enriched tip-top. Tennessee races against time in his efforts to revive the nearly unconscious deputy, who upon arrival was too spent to tell him his experience.
Deputy's coming around now. How about it, feller? Can you talk yet?
Them Southern sympathizers from Del Rio tried to head him off, like the sheriff said.
But they wouldn't listen. Is that it?
Yeah. So as a deputy, I ordered them to lay down their arms.
And they wouldn't?
No. They gun-whipped me and knocked me out of the saddle. Just before I passed out, I seen them pounding leather for San Antone.
What did I tell you, Tennessee? Them Del Rio Southern sympathizers is riled, and there's no stopping them.
If and they ain't no way, Cook Stove. Nick Dalton's in a fair way to taking over this country. Because if them boys does battle with federal troops, sure you're born. There's a war on.
So Southern forces ride forth to battle with federal troops on the way from San Antone, and all efforts to stop them seem in vain. Can Tennessee persuade them to listen to reason or capture Nick Dalton before the two forces meet in mortal combat? This is Layman Cameron Gang asking you to be sure and tune in again tomorrow at this same time for another exciting chapter in the thrilling adventures of Tennessee Jed.
There he goes, Tennessee! Get him! Got him! Dead center!
That's Jed Sloan, Tennessee Jed, deadliest man with a rifle ever to ride the Western Plains. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, by the bakers of enriched tip-top bread. Nick Dalton plans to renew the war between the states and take over the government. So, by clever lying, he provokes a group of Del Rio men to attack federal troops coming from San Antonio as replacements for those killed in his recent raid on Camp Hudson. Tennessee and Snake attempt to capture Dalton before the battle takes place and fail. Then Cookstove, Sheriff Tate, and Jose meet up with what they believe to be the Del Rio advance guard, only to learn too late the group is headed by Dalton himself, and they wind up with hangman's nooses around their necks.
You've seen men hanged before, Cookstove. A good slap starts your horses running, leaving you three swinging in the breeze.
I ain't scared of dying, Dalton, but I'm sure entitled to last word.
Talk fast, then, because you're going to hang before the Del Rio rear guard shows up.
Maybe so, Dalton, but leaving us swinging till them Del Rio boys shows up ain't gonna help your cause one frazzling bit.
Wrong, Cookstove. They'll attribute your hanging to their enemies. Then, no power on earth can keep them from attacking federal troops coming from San Antone.
You can't last long, Dalton. Criminals what makes a mistake of hanging a full-fledged sheriff is gone gosling.
But the Del Rio rear guard, Sheriff, will swear you were hanged by their enemies, and there'll be no stopping them from wiping out federal troops.
Truth will always come out, Dalton. Don't you ever forget that.
But this time, too late, Sheriff. The minute this is over, I'm heading for Shreveport to make sure federal troops are sent into Texas to put down the uprising here.
Don't draw me no pictures, Dalton. You figure sending troops to Texas won't leave enough force to keep down rioting what you'll start in Louisiana.
Exactly, Cookstove. So you might say, everything ties together. Once the war is on again in full force, I take over the government. And hanging you is the first step in getting the war started.
You best make haste then, Dalton, or you'll miss your chance.
Enough of this. With only a rope around your neck to hold you, Cookstove, one word from me, and you all swing in the breeze.
Yes, indeed. One word from Nick Dalton and Cookstove, Sheriff Tate and Jose will hang. We'll hear Dalton give that command in just 1 minute. Let's say you and a pal have just come home from school to beat out the old homework together. You're just about to pitch in when you realize you're hungry. Partner, that's time for Tip Top, spread with jelly or peanut butter, for instance. And for 2 reasons. First, this better bread that brings you Tennessee Jed has something no other bread has that makes it smooth, more delicious, more fun to eat every time. And second, creamy, smooth, tip-top bread at every meal helps give you energy you need to keep feeling tip-top for studies and sports all day long. Try a slice and see if Benrich Tip-Top isn't truly today's better bread. Your bread from now on. Look for the red star-end wrapper for Tip-Top today. A stark and terrifying drama takes place beneath the limbs of the cottonwood tree from which Nick Dalton is ready to hang Cookstove, Sheriff Tate, and Jose. Listen.
All right, men. When I give the word, yank on those ropes. Chase the horses from under Cookstove, Sheriff Tate, and Jose. Now. It's Tennessee's yodel.
He's cut Cookstove's rope with his rifle.
Jose, he got Jose down too.
He cut them all down. Take no chances with Tennessee's riflemen. Clear out.
Come on,
get all right.
Whoa, Smokey! Get these ropes loose first, Snake. Forget about Dalton. Thank the stars Jose's still breathing, Tennessee.
So's Cookstove, but kind of weak. How about Sheriff Tate?
All right now. The rope's off.
One time we's almost too late, Snake.
Don't say that, son. When I saw them 3 yanked into midair, I thought they was goners.
Looks like Jose's coming around first.
Yeah. That there's one tough Mexicano.
Sí. In all Mexico, there is no man so tough than Jose Rosita, or Texas, too. I never miss.
Yeah, Jose. But supposing Tennessee had a missed hitting that rope round your neck.
Plain Snake, please. Senor Tennessee, he is like Jose. And like Jose, he never missed, too.
Leastways, that's no hogwash, Jose. I never seen shooting like that in all my born days.
Snake, some folks might call it luck. But I say the Lord was doing the sighting that time.
See, Tennessee. But you pulled the trigger, no?
Gents, parting them ropes and them swinging was a plumb miracle. Luck just ain't the word for it. Miracles only the Lord can perform. How's Sheriff Tate?
He's coming round, Tennessee. How about Cookstove?
Breathing stronger now. We didn't get the rope off in his neck a minute too soon.
Like the Senor Dalton say, Jose make the beautiful decoration for the rope. But this time, Jose do not wish to look pretty.
Oh, howdy, St. Peter. You know, you look just like Tennessee.
It is Tennessee, Sheriff.
Huh? Well, doggone, Snake. What you in Tennessee doing up here in heaven?
You ain't dead, Sheriff, but you come mighty close.
You mean I ain't dead?
No, Sheriff. The Lord saw fit to spare your life.
Well, I sure am grateful, Tennessee. 'Cause I still got a whole term to serve out as a full-fledged sheriff.
Tennessee, son. That you?
Yeah, Cookstove. Me and Snake.
How come you showed up when you did?
The Lord willed it so, Cookstove. When Dalton give me and Snake the slip, we figured best thing was catch up with you.
Give you the slip? You mean he's gone again?
Couldn't be helped, Cookstove. We had to get them ropes off in your necks.
You shouldn't have bothered about us. Now Dalton's on his way to Louisiana, Shreveport.
What's that you said?
He's gone to Shreveport to spread word about fighting here in Texas between Del Rio boys and them federal troops.
They ain't tangled yet, have they?
They will by the time Dalton hits Shreveport. They's due by here any minute.
So that's his plan. To send federal troops into Texas from Shreveport. So there'll be no armed forces to stop him when he starts riots in Louisiana.
That's his plan, Tennessee. Less'n we can catch him before he gets there.
No, Cookstove. Thing for us to do is make a liar out of Dalton by keeping them Del Rio boys from battling federal troops.
So?
We stays right here and waits for the rear guard to show up.
Huh? How come?
'Cause, Cookstove, talking them out of fighting is a heap more important right now than catching Nick Dalton.
I figure that it's high time for us to be a-haltin'. Stopping fighting means much more than catching old Nick Dalton.
Will Tennessee be able to talk the Del Rio group out of fighting and avert a head-on battle with federal troops? We'll see in just 60 seconds. You'll know by the stars it's Tip Top, the better bread that brings you Tennessee Jed. See for yourself how much better Tip Top bread is by trying a slice just plain with butter. That's our real test. See how sweet and fresh it smells, how smooth it feels, how delicious it tastes without any other spread. And you'll say Tip Top bread is the keenest you ever touched to your tongue. Yes, sir, folks say that eating Tip Top is like eating fresh homemade bread. That's because Tip Top is baked in a special way that's like the way our grandmothers made bread. Enjoy Tip Top 3 meals a day to help you keep feeling really Tip Top. It's vitamin enriched, remember? And you'll find Tip Top bread in the wrapper with the stars. Tennessee has only a short wait, for even now the Del Rio rear guard is approaching the spot where Cookstove, the sheriff, and Jose came so close to death.
Here come the rest of them Del Rio boys.
And quite an army, Tennessee.
And please, fellas, this time let me do the talking. Howdy, gents.
Howdy! Oh!
Howdy, sir.
Sir, how have the honor of addressing?
They calls me Tennessee.
How do you do? Anthony Devereaux, former major, Charleston Brigade, Confederate Army.
What, you're kind of forgetting, ain't you, Major? War is over.
Are you friend or foe?
Friend of the United States, Major, and foe to all what plots against her.
Union blue or Confederate gray?
Looky, Major. Nick Dalton's done took advantage of your sticking to your beliefs by lying to you about this here Camp Hudson business.
Nick Dalton? He's a stranger to me, sir.
He's too slick for showing himself open like, Major. But he's lied to your bunch, just so's they'd get riled enough to battle them federal troops coming from San Antone.
Federal troops can mean but one thing, Tennessee, to put this country under military rule.
Believe me, Major, Dalton's lying. He just wants to start another war so's he can take over the government.
Just why are you so anxious to halt my men, Tennessee?
'Cause one battle's gonna bring more troops from Louisiana, Major. which will clear the way for Dalton to start more trouble there.
I don't see it that way, Tennessee. You're just trying to stall until federal troops have put this country under military rule. You and your friends may consider yourselves my prisoners.
Now, wait a minute, Major.
I wouldn't try anything foolish, Tennessee. My men are well armed.
You don't have to tell me what I can see plain as day, Major Devereaux.
Besides, they're excellent marksmen. And since it's apparent you're an enemy to their cause, they'll welcome the chance to deal with you after the federal forces are wiped out.
Uh-oh. Instead of winning over Major Devereaux, Tennessee is made a prisoner to be dealt with after the first battle of another war between the states. This is Layman Cameron, gang, asking you to be sure to listen again tomorrow at this same time to the next exciting chapter in the thrilling adventures of... Tennessee Jed. The stars say it's better bread. Look for the Star-End wrapper for more delicious and rich tip-top bread today.
This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.